Hello and welcome to a beautiful day in the Bonn Stadium today. This is really perfect baseball weather today, and it's also a bit of a special day here at the Bonn Stadium. It is the 1000th Bundesliga game for the Bonn Capitals, so we are marking it with Millennium Day. That means there's a lot of extra festivities happening today. You'll see through the camera that we have balloons up, and we have a lot of special guests who are going to make an appearance today. There's going to be a first pitch thrown out with a number of former players who have played in the past for the Bundesliga. There's going to be some cheerleaders making an appearance and a performance, and then speech and a welcome and from Miko Hyde, the president of Bonn Capitals. So and then following that, we're going to have a great game, Rhein Derby. So Bonn playing the Cologne Cardinals. The game will start at 1 o'clock, but keep your eye on the screens, and you'll see some of the festivities, and hopefully listen in. And we'll be back right before start with the lineups. Thanks.
Also, sind alle bereit für den Auftritt der Shooting Stars? Auf dem Rock zeigen euch heute, was sie für euch einstudiert haben. Eine tolle Kooperation mit den Cats. Wir freuen uns. Und da kommen die, put your hands together!
kommen die Kleinen auch noch. Ja. Digga, ich check nicht, wie ein Zeppelin fliegen kann. Also.
So, wir bitten die Gabi vielleicht nochmal zu uns, weil das letzte Lied nochmal gespielt werden. Von Mirko. Wir fangen an mit der Gastmannschaft. Ihr stellt euch bitte auf. Zuerst die Starting Lineup, dann die Bench. Die Line-Up für dieses Spiel.
feiern wir unser 30-jähriges Bestehen in der ersten Bundesliga. Und der heutige Tag ist ein besonderer Meilenstein in unserer Vereinsgeschichte, denn heute findet das 1000. Bundesligaspiel der Bonn Cardinals statt. Trikot und besondere Kappen rausgebracht, die unsere Verbundenheit mit der Stadt nochmal besonders hervorheben wollen. Heute in Schwarz unsere Truppen, wenn ihr die Trikots nachher seht und Stand, werdet ihr sehen, dass viele Elemente aus Bonn mit eingebaut sind. Insofern die Trikots sind nicht nur für die Jungs da, sondern auch für euch zu kaufen. Kappen und Trikots gibt es vorne am Stand, deckt euch gut ein. In 30 Jahren Bundesliga-Geschichte haben etwa 200 Spieler das Cardinals-Trikot getragen. Und ich freue mich ganz besonders, dass wir heute eine große Auswahl an ehemaligen Spielern hier haben, die in der Bundesliga für die Bonn Cardinals aufgelaufen sind. Besonders begrüßen möchte ich im Trikot der Cardinals heute Alex Bayham, Vincent Ahrens, Tim Weisberg und Chris Löwe. Jahren das Trikot getragen haben, bis ich jetzt in den Mount zu kommen. Und wir fangen an mit John Marshall, Nick Kelly, Andy Ramsey, Ivan Walke, Nicky Clark, Kevin Johann, Kevin Lambert, Leonard Weller, Martin Ampero, Marco Landa.
Bisschen enger zusammen, bitte.
Morgen, hallo. Fertig.
Können wir hier noch einen Fokus machen? Obwohl, nee, es ist noch besser hier.
And that was our nice little opening ceremony for our 1000th Bonn Capitals Bundesliga game. Today is Millennial Day. And as you saw and as was announced before, that Bonn are playing today in brand new jerseys, outfits that were designed by the Bonn Capitals team, meant to represent different aspects of Bonn and the city. And so going to be kind of like the city. What are they called? City? Bonn Bound? Bonn Bound is what they're calling them. There it is. Ah, these have its own logo. Nice job. So they are for sale. here in the stadium. So pick up a hat, pick up a jersey, pick up a shirt. Really nicely designed and really represents kind of the spirit of the Bonn Capitals team. So that was also a series of old players, they're not old yet, but former players for the Bundesliga are joining us in the stadium today. And one of them, Nick Michelli, who played for many years here, a couple years ago before he moved away, will be joining us later to help commentate the game. So, thank you everybody for tuning in. I'm going to go through quickly the lineup for the Cologne Cardinals. Batting first is the shortstop, Roman Trujillo. Second is the catcher, Vinny Ahrens, former Bonn Capital. Batting third is the first baseman, Moritz Jödecke. Batting fourth is the right fielder, Simon Keimes. The number 5 batter is the DH, Paul Stadler. Number 6 batter is the third baseman, Jacob Gentry. Batting 7th is the second baseman, Alessandro Carrasquilla Romero. Batting 8th is the left fielder, Christopher Goebel. Batting 9th is the center fielder, Niklas Piontek. And the starting pitcher for the Cologne Cardinals is Marcelino San Luis Berras. So these teams met yesterday in Cologne. Bonn came away with the win there. Going to see what happens today. The last time I commented the game was also, or I guess a couple times ago I commented a game. It was a Bonn against the Cologne, and it was a really close game, a lot of back and forth. So we're hoping for an exciting game today, some good baseball. Yeah, and I think, again, if you're just tuning in and you see who's that black team that's playing, that is the Bonn Capitals in a special edition jerseys called Bonn Bound. And first pitch ball. And on the mound for the Capitals is Marcus Solbach. And that one caught the bottom corner. Strike one. And there's a drive up the middle and just past the glove of Eric Brank for a leadoff single. So Roman Trujillo, leadoff single, and at bat is now the former Capital, Vinny Ahrens, catcher for the Cardinals. All right, so I just got news that Nick Michelli has locked himself in the house, thinking that we are commentating from above the snack bar. So I just had to write him on WhatsApp that we've actually moved. We are right above the Cologne dugout. So again, he's been away for a while, so we will forgive him, and he'll be joining us in just a minute. And there's it going right to first base. Bobbled that second by Brank. Going for the double play. Didn't have the ball securely in his glove when he made the transfer. So that's everybody's safe on that one. So we have no outs, man on first and second. And at bat, we have the first baseman, Moritz Jüdecke. And that's in there for a strike. 0-1. And foul ball, 0-2. And there he is, Nick Bocelli. He found us. And there's a stolen base. So Cologne coming out here, aggressive. No outs, man on first and third. Let's see if the Capitals can turn it around here. And there's a drive up the middle, should be a double play. And it's a double play, routine double play, but that brings in a run. So some aggressive base riding leads to an early lead for the Cardinals. Now we have right fielder Simon Keimes. And there's a rip, base hit straight up the middle. For the fourth. That's the fourth batter and 4 men on. So really aggressive here in the first inning, the Cardinals. Now at bat, you have the DH, Paul Stetler. And there's a big rip, foul. The Cardinals really coming out swinging here in the top of the first. And there's another ground ball. Brink playing to first and gets the third out. So that's it. Very aggressive inning by the Cardinals. That means that they are now up 1-0 at the end of the top of the first. We'll be right back.
So, ich nutze die Chance, euch über noch einen neuen Sportler zu erzählen. Das GOP gibt zu jedem verkauften Bonn-Jersey einen Gutschein dazu. Und die Anzahl der Tickets und der Jerseys ist begrenzt. Also wenn ihr Interesse an einem Bonn-Bound Jersey habt, dann beeilt euch und holt euch eins Dann kriegt ihr von unserem neuen Sponsor GOP noch einen Gutschein dazu. Und falls alle Trikots vergriffen sind, es gibt auch T-Shirts und Kappen. Und unsere Martina Bella kann bei großem Bedarf natürlich auch noch nachbestellen. Ich sehe gerade die Bonner heute mit Coaching Support, Florian Mehring am dritten Base.
All right, welcome back to the bottom of the first. And again, my name is Oli Tangen Jr., and I am now joined by my former coach and former Bonn Capital, Nick Bocelli.
Yeah, great to be here. Pretty cool seeing it from this vantage point. I don't think I've ever experienced one of the Bonn games from here before. Yeah, so this is pretty cool.
Yeah, if you don't know where we're where we are, we're right above the visitors' dugout, so right along the third base side. So welcome back, Nick. How's it feel?
Oh, it's cool. Yeah, I mean, pretty great atmosphere today. Had a great turnout to celebrate the 1,000th game. So a lot of alumni, and yeah. So let's see if after a pretty aggressive first inning from the Cardinals batters that the Capitals can get back on track here with Maurice Mendrine leading off.
So inside ball one. You want to walk us through the lineup, Nick?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so we got Maurice Mendrine here leading off for the Caps. So always he's a really good leadoff hitter. Of course I faced against him many times during his years in Paderborn. He's a really patient hitter, and then there's a deep drive out to left field. Pretty good contact on that, but yeah, I mean, I was saying he's a guy that he's a pretty tough out, great leadoff to have because he'll work the count pretty good, look for good pitches to drive, and then he's a really tough strikeout. So it's pretty much the only kind of candidate that Bonn would go to, other than obviously who they've had as the leadoff hitter for pretty much his whole tenure here in Bonn, and Eric Brank, who steps into the two hole, the shortstop. Also a really good patient hitter. So they're really going to test the Cologne pitcher today.
Yeah, so that was a fly ball to left. Got good contact, but not far from where the...
Yeah, feels like the wind's blowing in a little bit from the left-hand side, too. As Eric's guys went also to left field. Chris Goebbels settles under it. Yeah, makes the catch. So 2 away here.
Yeah, so even, you're seeing a lot of faces and that you used to play with, but also a lot of people that used to play against.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Yeah, and especially, there's been a fair amount of, kind of austausch, I guess, between the Cologne team and the Bonn team. So, of course, we got, Chris Goebbels playing left field for the Cardinals, and Vinny Ahrens makes his return back to Cologne as well. There's a good off-speed pitch to Terrell Joyce. Yeah,
Terrell Joyce, who you played with when you played.
Yeah, multiple times. Yeah. Obviously played against him for many years in Australia, in the South Australian Baseball League, as we kind of met down there first, and then played against him in 2019 as we with Bonn went to the Champions Cup for the first time, as he was with Ostrava. As a guy that I've known for many years, both as a teammate and an opponent. And a wide throw. Is he safe there? No, they still got him on the tag, yeah. Ground ball to third base, and a pretty nice pickup by the first baseman there on an errant throw down the line. And, so Bonn goes down pretty quick here in the bottom half of the first, but it seemed like they were pretty aggressive, and I'm sure they're going to be that way against this Cologne team. So after one, Cologne's up 1-0 as Zolbach gets back to the mound.
We'll be right back.
So, jetzt habe ich euch erzählt, einmal von unserem neuen Sponsor auf der Kutsche, das Special Edition der Oakleys, also geht mal vorbei. Ich habe euch erzählt von dem coolen neuen Trikot, was ihr Logo eben erwähnt hat, der einfach die Verbundenheit zur Stadt noch ein bisschen mehr zum Vorschein bringt. Und da gibt es, wie gesagt, pro Verkauf, also pro gekauftes Trikot, einen Gutschein für das GOP Varieté-Theater. Ich war da dieses Jahr bei einer Karnevalsveranstaltung und es war der Hammer. Also kann ich euch nur empfehlen, da ist für alle was dabei.
All right, we're back for the top of the second here. Let's see if the I think they will come out as aggressive they did in the top of the first, but we'll see how that works out. So.
And that's something that I've noticed pretty much since Alex Bam took over as the coach for Cologne. Like under his tutelage, the hitters have really become really aggressive. I think last year they really shocked the league, honestly. With being super aggressive, also against very good pitching, like Marcus Solbach, and that's something that we also found last year with Regensburg when we played these guys in the first round of playoffs, that they came out super aggressive and really punched us in the nose pretty quick and took that first game from us, which a lot of people didn't anticipate. But it just goes to show that if you're aggressive hitting, then you can really put a team kind of on their heels and make them kind of have to fight and claw back into games, kind of like what they did here in the first inning against Marcus Solbach.
But you're being quite selective, like laying off 3 close pitches.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the MO that they're going to have this game. Facing a guy like Solbach, who just to try and slow him down a little bit, get his pitch count up, because he's the guy that just has such pinpoint precision and control. Even though he starts off there with a leadoff walk, that they really want to try and get to the Bonn bullpen, which I think is a bit of a weakness for them this year, not in the sense of the quality of the guys that they have, but more the quantity. So they have a couple key injuries or guys in college at the moment. So I'm sure that's the hitting plan for Cologne today, to be pretty aggressive, but like selectively aggressive. So don't miss your pitch, but try and make Solbach throw a lot of pitches early, especially to get that pitch count up.
No swing on that. And this is Alessandro Carrasquilla Romero, second baseman for the Cardinals. And there's
a good shot to right. It's going to dunk in front of, who is that in right field? Joe Rosenthal. Yeah, so whatever the scouting report that Alex Bam gave to the Cardinals seems to be working so far. As they've already chalked up probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 hits maybe.
Six guys and 6 guys
6
on.
base runners, yeah.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah, and so now we got runners on first and second with no outs here with Chris Gerbel up to the plate. So this is also a very aggressive hitter. He has great, I know from playing with CG for multiple years, he's got great bat on ball control, but he will be pretty wild swinging. So I anticipate Marcus to not throw many strikes here in this at bat. First pitch swinging, ground ball, should be a double play ball. Errant throw by Sanchez that Byers isn't able to scoop up, and the runner's going to score on that throw.
Yeah, so that's a second error we've had on double play balls in the first 2 innings by Bonn. So now, the middle infield for Bonn is pretty
usually
one of the best middle infields.
Yeah, for sure.
In Germany, and that you don't really expect that on.
And the thing is, Gerbel runs pretty well up the line, so they knew that they had to be pretty quick, and I think Sanchez just rushed the throw there, and Byers wasn't able to scoop it out. That resulted in a run for Cologne, so now they're up 2-0. Good pitch there, slider from Solbach.
And this is center fielder Nicholas Piontek. I think I said in my last time I commented for this game, for this matchup, he's my colleague's neighbor.
Oh, okay, there you go. Obviously something that we'll see here in the Cologne Bonn Derby. Runner goes, little hit and run. So Eric Brank, ground ball to the shortstop. He's going to come across. So runner advances from first to second. And we got 2 outs here.
Yeah, but they're really making contact against Solbach today.
Yeah, for sure.
So we're back to the top of the lineup here for the Cardinals. This is Roman Tulio.
First pitch slider from Solbach misses low. Yeah, and I anticipate, especially since this is back to leadoff, probably a healthy dose of off-speed pitches from Solbach here to try and get the strikeout, with the man on second base, 2 outs here. Looks like he put a little extra on that fastball there, coming off the slider combo. Yeah, he had a pretty good swing on that, though, so I wouldn't be surprised to see another. Either he really likes to go to that cutter for, kind of end of the bat, soft contact ground ball type, or I could also definitely see a slider in the dirt here, 1-1. Yeah, slider in the dirt. So 2-1 count here on the leadoff hitter from Cologne. Yeah, I mean, this is a situation, too, that, you're down 2-0, so as a pitcher, probably one of the more dangerous hitters that Cologne has, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's, sort of a, not necessarily a walk, but okay, fly ball to right field. Pretty easy for Joe Rosenthal. Yeah, I wasn't surprised by that. Not really given much to hit because, if you give away a walk in that situation, then it's fine. You don't really lose much going from man on second, 2 outs to first and second. 2 outs, but pretty good pitch executed by Solbach there to get Bonn out of the inning, but Cologne tacks on another, so yeah, Bonn down 2-0 here after 1.5.
And we'll be right back.
Dedeke GmbH, Ihr Spezialist für sterile und hochwertige Primärverpackungen in Pharma und Biotech. Gummistopfen, Flaschen, Alu- und Kunststoffkappen. Exakt kombiniert nach Ihrem Bedarf. Einmal bestellen, alles aus einer Hand geliefert. Sicher, effizient, zuverlässig. Dedeke GmbH, Verpackungslösungen, die passen.
Günstiger als ihr denkt.
And we're back for the bottom of the second.
Yeah, I was just telling Ole here. I think the pitcher for the Cardinals, Marcelino San Luis Beras, he's essentially a walk-on for the Cardinals. He's a guy, I think he's originally from the Dominican Republic, that someone just happened to kind of find or stumble across that was living in Cologne. And I mean, a pretty good pickup for them. Pretty solid lefty pitcher. Throws strikes for the most part. He's not very overpowering, but he induces a lot of weak contact. It's just a really solid arm to have that'll hopefully keep, from their perspective, the Bonn hitters off balance.
And there's a single in between the shortstop and the third baseman.
Yeah, Chris Byers with that. Always, hopefully someone in this Bonn lineup that's going to kind of spark a bit of a rally for these guys. One of the big boppers that they acquired in the offseason after playing a few years in Paderborn. I think he's also got some pretty decent speed on him. So
yeah, and he's taken over your role, your past role, as he's now coaching the third. And fourth
there we go.
team.
Yeah, and he's wearing my number as well. So,
see,
yeah,
he's
it's a good
new
seamless transition. That's good. Yeah, as Danny Landcourse comes up to the plate. Danny's having a really good year this year. First pitch swinging, fly ball, not deep, about in the middle of the outfield to center field for the first out. Yeah, and I mean, I don't anticipate, Bonn in any way kind of changing their approach, despite being down 2-0 here, because it's a very experienced team. They know it's a long game, and they're still going to be aggressive at the plate and just look for their pitches, and they're going to trust each other and not get worried about being down early, and just going to rely on the quality of having quality at bats and just putting good swings on the balls and trusting that they're going to fall in eventually.
And this is the second baseman, Danny Sanchez.
Yeah, first pitch off speed. I mean, of course, Cologne has a really good advantage here with Vinny Ahrens being the catcher for them, that he knows all these hitters incredibly well. So first pitch breaking ball from Beras to start off Danny Sanchez, of course, knowing that he's a pretty aggressive hitter, especially early in the count. Yeah, pick off attempt, Byers back easy. And so I anticipate pretty early, in this at bat, pretty much with Sanchez throughout, that he's going to get a pretty good dosage of breaking balls and off-speed pitches early to try and induce that double play ball. Fastball misses low.
Yeah, also the advantage of having Vinny behind the plate is they're going to be very careful.
Yeah, pretty much shuts down.
Steals.
Yeah, pretty much shuts down the running play. In all honesty, Vinny, definitely one of the best catchers in Germany, if not, one of the best catchers really around Europe and European baseball. As Byers goes early, the pickoff. Oh, and he's in there. Okay. Yeah, so Byers going on first move there. Beras came across, and then the throw from the first baseman, Judicke. Byers slides in safe.
So if you're not going to steal on Vinny, you can...
Yeah, that's really what you have to do, especially on a lefty. That's always the thing that you got to kind of see if the pitcher is going to be either a reader or if he's going to decide before the pitch what he's going to do, if he's going to be coming across or coming to home, and that's kind of what Byers did the previous pitch, that he did a couple little jump hops to see if Beras was a reader and noticed that he wasn't, and so he just went on first move and was able to beat the throw from the first baseman there. When Sanchez with a hard hit, right at the shortstop though. Easy throw, but on the throw, Byers advances.
Yeah, so the being aggressive on the base running has turned out well for both teams, avoiding the double play.
Yep. That obviously takes away the double play, because that would have been a pretty easy double play ball, and ball was hit pretty hard, just unfortunately right at the shortstop from Sanchez. So but Byers able to advance on third. So you never know with pass ball or wild pitch, something like that. Byers is that much closer to getting home. Otherwise, we got 2 outs here. Byers at third, Joe Rosenthal at the plate. First pitch swing on a very good slider, curveball there from Beras.
He was way ahead of that one.
Yeah.
So expecting fastball.
So 0-1 on Rosenthal here. Another slider, pretty much the same pitch, check swing. First base umpire said he didn't go. But pretty much the same pitch, maybe a little more back foot there instead of, just in front of Ottens. So 1-1 count here, evens it up. So 2 sliders in a row there from Beras. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes back to it, but, Rosenthal definitely looking for a fastball here. He gets one, must have been just outside.
Just off the plate. That looked good from up here.
That's a good pitch, and that also what that does, that's going to set up another off-speed pitch here, most likely from Beras, in a 2-1 count. Runner at third. So I anticipate, some sort of off-speed, probably another slider, I would think. Could be a changeup though off of that.
Yeah, and that one's foul up the third base side.
Yeah.
2-2. 2 outs.
Yeah, so let's see what Rosenthal can do. He's having a better year this year than he did last year. Having a pretty good start to the year. 2-strike hitter. Good take. Probably looked like a slider up that missed up, so they'll bring the count to 3-2. So let's see if Joe can get something to hit here. 3-2, 2 outs made on third. Fastball misses low. Yeah, so walk to Rosenthal. That's also, really good speed on first base now. So let's see if Bonn will eventually try and do something to get him to second base. Probably try and, we'll see maybe one of the first few pitches. Maybe Joe will try and see if he can get a read and get there, or he'll definitely be going if Kunze gets to 2 strikes and see if they can somehow manufacture that run, get Byers to score from third base here. But Eric Kunze up to the plate now, the catcher for the Capitals. Looks like a fastball missed up. Yeah, 1-0 count. I anticipate Joe trying to get some action on the base paths here. There he goes. Yep. Kunze swinging away. Looked like a bit of a high fastball, sort of in between the center field and the right fielder, and center field makes the catch to end the Bonn threat.
So 2 left on base, no runs, and the collapsing tent next to us. Get some wind here today, so we're going to go help fix that tent problem, and we'll be back in a few minutes.
Und dieses Halbinning möchte ich mal die Chance nutzen, mich bei unseren vielen Sponsoren zu bedanken. Ich habe es eben schon gesagt, was würden wir ohne euch machen? Wir würden weinen. Ne? Also, dass wir hier mit den Cardinals so ein gefülltes Stadion jedes Mal hinbekommen, da stecken viele Helfer dahinter, viele ehrenamtliche Helfer und halt die Unterstützer und Sponsoren. Und deswegen ein riesen Dankeschön an die Dedeke GmbH, an die Telekom, an Madaus und Lauscher, an die Wolanski GmbH, an Lichthaus Enzinger, an die Sparkasse Köln-Bonn, an Wolanski für Webservice, Robinson Wellfit, DHL Group, Cook Coburg, eBridge Consulting, McDonalds, die Firma TAM, Steve GmbH, Augenklinik Rot und die IRS Vögeli. Ohne euch wäre das alles nicht möglich. Links haben wir noch vor uns, die anderen Sponsoren nenne ich euch gleich.
All right, now we're back top of the third. It's been some action, but the game seems to be going quite quickly here.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and both pitchers throwing strikes, and a lot of early contact, just like that there. So Vinny Arns up
at the first pitch.
Yeah, Vinny Arns, the catcher for the Cardinals, the 2-hole hitter. So switch hitter batting left here against Solbach. Probably looked like either a cutter or a changeup early there on Vinny, and there was definitely a changeup there. Yeah, so 0-2 here on Arns. And yeah, this is a matchup. I mean, these guys know each other so well. So it's always something that it's kind of hard both from the hitter and pitcher perspective, trying to figure out. Looked like a fair ball. Yeah, ground ball to the first baseman. Yep, Zolbach's able to get over there. Pretty good play by Byers to knock it down. Pretty tough play. Also one of those you're not quite sure if it's going to stay fair or foul. So always as the first baseman, you got to make that play. And Zolbach was there waiting for the ball.
Yeah, bobbled it a few times, but made the play.
Yeah, kept it in front.
Was there.
But yeah, I was going to say, thinking from, a pitcher's mindset, when you're facing a former catcher, it's always so difficult to try and outthink them. And it's really like a chess game, and it's so hard to kind of have that mindset where you're like, okay, he knows that I like to do this. Am I then going to change my approach, go with my weapons, despite him kind of knowing what I like to do? Or really try and do something, totally new that's unexpected. And it's always, that kind of cat and mouse game that you always get with pitching in general anyway.
So we got a quick 0-2 count for Moritz Jodeke.
Yeah. 2 well-located fastballs there from Zolbach. and that was some sort of off speed. I think he likes to go to that. I think he likes to go to that cutter late, more as the strikeout pitch, and also just kind of reading those swings. I think he was able to get that, get that in there. But it looked like he had taken a bit off. It looked like probably that cutter. Yeah, it was a fastball in the dirt. Yeah, so 1-2 count here to the 3-hole hitter from Cologne. Ground ball to shortstop. Pretty easy play for Eric Brank.
With the pump.
Yeah. He was able to get there so quick. I think Byers was playing pretty far back at first base, so he had to take an extra crow hop to make sure that Byers got back to the base in time, and still able to beat the batter running up pretty hard down the line by a few steps.
And now we have the right fielder, Simon Keimes.
Yeah. First pitch swinging on a pitch pretty low, pretty outside the zone. Yeah, another off-speed. Seemed like 2 off-speed pitches back-to-back. That there, it's hard to tell with Zolbach whether that's a cutter or a slider. I know he likes to go with those pitches. Yeah, same thing. That was, I think, his changeup there. Soft ground ball to second base, and Sanchez makes the easy play. Yeah, so pretty, I mean, like I said before, pretty quick, aggressive inning from Zolbach. I mean, that felt like, I don't know, maybe 10 pitches or so, between 10 and 15. So he's always going to be pretty economic.
Looks like he's settling in, but the bats still swing the bats on.
Yeah, for sure. Cardinals. Yeah, I mean, Cologne's, they're not going to change their approach here, especially since they've gotten a couple runs that way. So they're going to stay aggressive.
All right. Now we're going to go into the bottom of the third. Cardinals is still ahead, 2-0. Be right back here in Rheinauer Stadium on Millennium Day. Millennium or Millennial?
Good question. Millennium Day, I guess.
Millennium. We're going to call it Millennium Day. All right. Be right back. And we're back.
Luis Martin leading off for Bonn. And so we got a different coaching staff here today, actually, for the Bonn Capitals, as head coach here for his second year. Stan Exeter, I think, is back in the U.S. for his son's graduation. So taking the helm is, Max Schmitz. So obviously well known here in Bonn, but also as a coach for the Capitals here in 2021 and 2022. So he's leading the charge with national team bench coach Maurice Wilhelm, also longtime Capital. Helping him out as a bench coach, and Florian Ehring is the third base coach today. So pretty different coaching staff, but not a new coaching staff, of course, for the Caps today. Ooh, that's struck well by Martin. Sends the center fielder back, and that's back against the wall. Yeah, center fielder was playing pretty in, but that ball was really well struck.
It looked like he misjudged it. He was
he
running
definitely
to the side
misjudged it.
and then realized, okay, I gotta turn now. So maybe a bit of luck there too.
Yeah, he was playing pretty shallow, and I think he first came in on a ball that didn't really realize how well it was struck. That's really tough as a center fielder. The ball was hit right at him. It's really hard to judge. So usually they kind of teach that you listen for the sound for balls that are right at you, and it was struck pretty well. Misjudged it, and then, I mean, in the end, it either short hopped the wall or was one hop against it. So really good hit there from Luis Martin to lead it off.
And you could hear that was well struck.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And the quick mound visit from Alex Bam with his pitcher Beras after the leadoff double. as we now get back to the top of the order here from Bonn. So I wouldn't be surprised to see some sort of action here from Bendrine. I mean, he's really, really good with the bat, has really great bat control. He can bunt, he can, hit and run. But here early in the game, I anticipate him swinging away because he's a pretty selective hitter anyway, and, to lead it off here to get back to the top of the lineup, I'm sure he's not going to be giving away any gifts, just looking for some, good pitches to hit here. Yeah, smart take. Borderline pitch up, about belly button height, fastball there. So 0-1 count here on Bendrine. Good slider there from Beras. Just kind of one of those that goes around the plate. So 0-2 count here on Bendrine, but Bendrine is such a good two-strike hitter. I'm sure he's not at all worried. He's someone who rarely strikes out. Will definitely put the ball in play, at least do a job to advance Martin to third base.
And are players at this level, do they change any sort of approach when they have two strikes?
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, especially like guys like the Capitals are, so many guys in this lineup have played at really high levels, or they're such good baseball guys in general. Like so many guys are national team players too that in this situation, down two strikes, you're going to battle, get that pitch count up, and really try and do your job to advance Martin to third base. But he's actually running. Ooh, got lucky there. So stolen base by Martin, but that's really an out that should have happened. The third baseman missed the ball. It was a good throw from Ahrens. But it was
a bit high, and he tried to force he tried to rush the tag, and just went off the top of his mitt.
Yeah, but Bendrine strikes out on that pitch, so I doubt it was any sort of hit and run or anything. I think Martin just thought that he got a good jump on the lefty, which is always tough. As a lefty to kind of hold guys on second base. So you're kind of facing away from, you're kind of blind once they start going. And it was a good throw from Ahrens. So Eric Brink now up, another really patient, smart hitter. So he's going to do the best that he can to get this run in the best that he can. Cologne defense playing halfway here, so the corners are in. Middle infielders are sort of even with the bases.
And he lays off that one. 2-0.
Yeah, so Brink's definitely looking for a mistake pitch here. So he's really looking for a fastball out over the plate or an off-speed pitch that's up. Borderline pitch. Looked like it was in. So 3-0 here. I doubt with Terrell Joyce coming up that Brink's got the green light. But you never know. I mean, he's experienced enough that I'm sure if he sees a perfect pitch, he'll take it himself and be able to put a good swing on it. And he does. So fly ball to left field. Here comes the throw from Goebbels. It was struck pretty well, so really no chance on that. So turned him loose 3-0. Eric Brink puts a really good swing on the ball. Probably 20 to 25 feet from the fence, and Chris Goebbels makes a pretty easy catch, but he had no chance to throw out Martin, who runs pretty well coming down the line. So 2-1 game now. With Terrell Joyce at the plate now for the Caps to hopefully continue to do some damage for them.
Let's see if they can get a 2-out rally going here.
The guy here, he's really trying to get right with his swing. So always especially when he's in a groove, probably one of the most dangerous hitters that he could face out here in Europe, especially in Germany. 2 big swings in a row there from Terrell.
So quickly behind in the count, 0-2.
Yeah. High fastball there, but that's probably just one to set up the slider in the dirt. I anticipate here from the Beras Ahrens combo. 1-2 count.
Hey, went upstairs again. 2-2.
There was a good slider there from Beras to get Joyce. Yeah, kind of back-footed a little bit. It was a little up, but yeah, it was just enough. I think the speed difference was enough to get him on that. But Bonn gets one run here after leadoff double from Luis Martin that he was able to get over to third, and a good sac fly from Eric Brank. So they've
Hier Früchte an Optik-Fritsche, an Lutz-Architekt und an die Wahl-Holding. Ohne euch wären wir nicht viel lange für uns unterstützt. Und hier geht es jetzt auf dem Feld weiter. Der erste Schlagmann, Schönhauses Kameraden,
So we're back now. Marcus Zolbach takes the hill again. Paul Stadler leading off for the Cards. Good fastball there from Zolbach. Yeah, I mean that's a big thing as a pitcher. When you're in a game like this, as soon as your team gives you some run support, you want to get back on the mound and just be a horse and really pump the zone and try and capitalize on the bit of momentum that you guys just earned offensively to try and get guys back in and keep your defense sharp. Throw a lot of strikes. Yeah.
So swing at the off speed there.
Yeah.
1 and 2.
Good pitch there from Zolbach. Yeah. I think he likes to go with that changeup as his strikeout pitch. And that was a good one there in the dirt, but well laid off by Stedler. And then just blows him away with the fastball after that. That's always such a good combo. I mean, whichever way really you go with the fastball changeup, of course it's most common to do from the fastball to the changeup, but it's just as effective to go from the changeup to the fastball because they look pretty similar. And especially once you go with that changeup first, then the fastball just looks all the more quicker, and it's tougher to time up. Good fastball there from Zolbach in the outside corner.
And this is the third baseman, Jacob Gentry.
Yeah, it's a good off-speed pitch there from Zolbach as well. So that's the thing. I mean, that's what's so impressive about Zolbach. I mean, he just pounds the zone so well. I mean, you almost never see him in 2-ball counts even, let alone 3-ball counts. And yeah, he's up again. And that's just a perfect pitch, 0-2. Well-spotted fastball just outside. And Eric Kuntz behind the plate caught that pretty well, makes it look pretty good, but Kevin Mugit behind the plate thought that was outside. And a really good changeup there. That was a really impressive take from Gentry. Really, really good changeup off that fastball. Yeah, fastball low and in, that was pulled foul. Pretty good swing on that.
Yeah, just off the roof of the bullpen, Bonner bullpen.
Yeah, and I think that was either the fastball or the cutter in, so I anticipate seeing a changeup off of that. Now I went back hard again with the fastball, fouled straight back. Actually caught Kevin Muzich, the home plate umpire, a bit there, so Kuntzi's going to come out to the mound to chat a little bit with Zolbach and give Kevin Muzich a break behind the plate just to kind of get his thoughts together there. Not sure where it caught him.
On the left
Seems
arm.
like on the arm, yeah. Yeah, but there's also a really good opportunity, something like that happens for Kunze to go out to talk to Marcus Solbach and get on the same page and see how they can, what pitch they're going to use as the strikeout pitch now. But Gentry had a pretty good swing on that, so and it seemed like it was the fastball. So, I would anticipate getting the changeup off that right now. Something, starts knees, ends in the dirt or around the shin area. I think that would be a smart pitch right now, but we'll see what they're thinking.
How fast is Solbach throwing the ball? His fastball?
That's a good question. I mean, this year, he's been known in his career to be, mid 90s, but early in the season right now, I think he looks like he's around the low 90s there. And that was an off-speed pitch, but he went with the slider instead, and Gentry's able to scoop it out for a base hit in front of Danny Lankhorst in center field. But for the most part, it's pretty early in the season still, so I anticipate Solbach's probably in the, upper 80s, low 90s, that range, probably sitting, and I'm sure he can gas it up a bit more if he needs to strike out. He's definitely thrown a couple today that have looked pretty hard.
And at bat, we have the second baseman, Alessandro Carrasquilla Romero.
Yeah, good fastball there from Solbach right at the knees.
You can probably pronounce that better than I can.
Carrasquilla Romero.
There it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
There we go. Pick-off attempt from Solbach. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they try and run some sort of play here, just to try and generate some more traffic and movement around the bases here, and to try and break up the double play with the man at first, one out. Pretty good swing there from Romero. Fouls it straight back. Yeah, so again, we see another 0-2 count. It's really amazing watching Marcus pitch sometimes.
Yeah, he goes right at him.
He goes right at him, and he throws 3 to 4 very good pitches, all for strikes, and can pretty much dominate both sides of the plate. Really good slider there, low. Good take by Romero.
Yeah, they've been laying off the close pitches.
Yeah, they've been good. They really impressed me last year as well. I pitched against them as well too, and super aggressive on mistakes and will lay off tough pitches.
Yeah, that one's followed back.
And I think that's what I've
Still
noticed.
1-2.
That's been the most immediate impact of. Because of course the coach for the Cologne Cardinals, Alex Bam, who's the hitting coach for Team Germany as well, and he himself had a pretty stellar career in the Bundesliga here many years ago.
Is he going?
Yeah.
And
ooh. So it was a steal there from Gentry. Ball in the dirt, well scooped by Kunze, but the throw got away a little bit. He yanked it towards shortstop, went off the glove of Daniel Sanchez covering, and squirted away, and that allowed Gentry to actually move to third base on the throw that skipped into shallow left center field. So now we're in a position where it's 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here, with pretty good hitter in Romero up. So it looks like Bonn's playing the infield in here with 1 out. Yeah, and a perfect pitch there from Solbach. I think
right
he went back to back breaking balls there, and then just dots a fastball at the knees. That's just really well executed. Yeah.
So it's 2 outs for Bonn.
Yep, 2 outs for Bonn.
Runner on third.
Yeah, and I'm sure right now with Chris Gerbel in that pretty good, especially from Solbach's perspective, a pretty good strikeout candidate in Chris Gerbel, free swinger. But if you make a mistake on him, he will put a good swing on it and hit it pretty hard. He's got great bat on ball skills, but he will chase. So Solbach up 0-1 on him early. Then another good slider there right off of that. So quickly down 0-2. So I anticipate a few balls well out of the strike zone here, anticipating that Solbach's going to swing through it, that Gerbel will swing through it. He went with the fastball there again. And Gerbel made him pay. I think it caught a bit too much of the plate there. Fastball at the knees, and that brings Cologne's third run across. So it's pretty good 2-strike hitting from Chris Gerbel, and I think Solbach's going to be pretty upset with himself. That one is pretty good 0-2 pitch there with a runner on third. Gerbel going on first pitch. Here's the throw from Kunze. Yeah, dead to rights. Got him with, well in front of him there. So Goebbels steals on the first pitch and throws out, gets thrown out by Kuntz. Really good throw there by Eric Kunze. And that ends the threat, but but Cologne gets one more run here to make it 3-1 after, 3.5.
We'll see you back at the bottom of the fourth.
Wir haben heute hier ein ganz besonderes Spiel, Millennium Spiel,
Yeah, they.
Bundesligaspiel. Der Bonn Cardinals.
True. Yeah, I love it.
Nur 3 Mannschaften in Deutschland haben wir.
Yeah, so we're getting a lot of visitors up here. Some old players coming by to say hi to Nick and me, I guess, of course, but mostly Nick because they see me all the time.
Yeah, so Chris Byers leading it off here for the Caps. And, we were just talking about the hit from Chris Goebbels. That was a, really tough play as a first baseman. Probably one that Byers thinks that he can get, but it's really difficult here. Sometimes, when it gets hotter, depending on what the conditions of the field are like, as he sends a towering fly ball to left field. Goebbels settles under it, makes the catch. But yeah, it's sometimes tough too. I mean, that ball was hit really hard by Goebbels, and once it hit that dirt there, it sprays up some dust, and it's really hard as on those hot corner positions to kind of read how that ball is going to be affected by when it hits the dirt, and you as well get just a split second, just enough of kind of the dust sort of masks where the ball is going to go, and it was just able to kind of go under his glove. He just misjudged that hop there. But
yeah, and like I said to Nick, so I play a lot of third and first, so now I got another excuse. It was the dust. Every time I misjudge a ground ball to first or third.
Yeah, so 2 back-to-back sliders here from Beras against Danny Lankhorst, the center fielder for Bonn. Also an aggressive hitter early, looking for fastballs, so he was anticipating 2 swings on those. But then on the 2-0 pitch, he does throw him the fastball, and Lankhorst hits a pretty lazy fly ball into, not deep, more like middle depth center field. So 2 kickouts here.
I mean, they're getting aggressive, but it seems like they're just missing under the ball.
Yeah.
A lot of fly balls.
Yeah. And I mean, you never know. Like it's always kind of tough. In these sorts of conditions, because we had this a lot too when I was in Bonn. When we have a big event like this, a big crowd, really nice day, a special ceremony, and it's obviously the team's cruising, that you put a lot of pressure on yourselves as hitters early in the game. Really, you almost get a bit too tense, just trying to do too much. And that's something that can happen often, and you really. Guys just go up there a bit too tense, not loose at the plate, and really just trying to hit, like a 5-run home run to really kind of take the pressure off and stuff, and it's pretty counterintuitive because once you do that and try and do too much, that's when you get these kind of miscues, these mishits, and these more fly balls, because you see a lot of just misses on some of these swings. But still plenty of game left. I mean, we're only in the 4th inning, so that's always something that we had told ourselves, when we are in these situations, because especially when you're down a couple runs against a team, you think that you should beat pretty easily. And of course, the Caps have pretty high expectations for this year, especially with the way that they've started and the roster that they have. But you just got to take every at bat one at a time, and I'm sure these guys are thinking too, just to try and get the pitch count from Beras up and see if they can get into that Cologne bullpen. Danny Sanchez works a full count here.
And then you have a guy on the mound who doesn't have a lot of heat, so he's really probably moving the ball around.
He's been very good about
pitches.
He's been very good about close call, really good slider there from Beras on the 3-2 pitch. Check swing from Sanchez, but Kevin Music immediately says that he goes. And that's the thing, like Beras is going to continue to be pretty aggressive, look for that weak contact, look for those jam shots for as long as he can.
And it seems like it's been working.
Yeah, so far so good from his perspective, yeah.
And for Cologne, up 3-1, up 3-2-1, and we'll head into the 5th inning when we get back.
Yep.
Günstiger als ihr denkt.
Ich habe gerade hier einen Special Guest und ich gebe kurz das Mikro, mal gucken, ob ihr ihn erkennt und wisst, wer das ist.
Hallo, hallo! Schön, dass ihr alle da seid. Und wunderschön, dass die Jessie aus dem super Handball hier. Und jetzt hoffen wir mal, dass unsere Jungs da unten auch mal langsam ein bisschen bewegen können.
So here we are, top of the 5th. Of course, Solbach still on the mound for Bonn. Nicholas Piontek leading off for Cologne here. Aggressive swinging on a fastball there, pretty high fastball, like letter high. But I've also noticed, because Alex Bam here is in front of us as we're above the third base dugout. I've seen his reaction a couple times. I've seen some guys take some first pitch fastballs that look pretty good, and he's been visibly upset with that. So you can see what their approach is and what they're kind of thinking. And there's a pretty easy 3-pitch strikeout there from Marcus Solbach. I mean, that was really well executed. 2 relatively high fastballs, like letter high, ones that are pretty tough to lay off on as hitters that are trying to be aggressive, and then went with the slider cutter. He's got low and away, and Piontek had no chance there.
And they're doing that because Solbach likes to go up in the count. So he'll come out aggressive.
And as well, and that's part of this, kind of cat and mouse game that I'm talking about as a pitcher, because then you as the pitcher realize that these hitters are going to be aggressive and they're going to be swinging for those fastballs, and so you then adjust your game a little bit. So okay, early in the count they're going to be looking for the fastballs and be aggressive, so I'm going to give them those fastballs, but I'm going to give them the more unhittable fastballs, or the ones that I know that if they do make contact, it's going to be pretty lazy fly balls, jam shots, pretty weak contact. So, and I mean, it's unbelievable, how Marcus works, because now just during that time I was talking about that, he was at 0-2, and that was 1-2 count, and he goes back to that slider low and out, fouled back pretty weakly, it's just amazing how quickly he can get ahead of guys and just stay ahead, and that's just also so difficult and so deflating from an offensive perspective, to just know that, okay, as soon as I get in there, like, he's coming at me with everything. But that's pretty well hit. Line drive to left field that Luis Martin had to run a little bit for, not a ton, but was able to get a kind of a dying line drive. And then we're back to 2 outs. So that was the leadoff hitter Trujillo, and now we're back to Vinny Arons. So the catcher, switch hitter, batting left here against Solbach. Yeah.
And that's also, I mean, there can't be many switch hitters in German baseball.
No, very few. Yeah, I mean, it's really kind of a dying art, I gotta say. I'm not exactly sure what to attribute that to. I guess you probably just have maybe a bit more data available earlier, and you just think like, okay, I just really want to focus on one side of the plate and just develop my game on that one side. Yeah, and again, Solbach up 0-2 pretty early, so it was a fastball. Fastball first pitch that Arons fouled right back, and then a taken fastball over the outside corner. Yep, and then there's that breaking ball low in the dirt that blocked well by Kunze, and Arons swings through. But yeah, that's an interesting thing. I'm trying to think if there are any other switch hitters in the league, if I'm honest. I mean, my brother was one, but I can't really think of any other switch hitters in the league.
Yeah,
Vinny's pretty unique in that.
Games, but I think he's the only one that I've any of the games that I've called and watched here, or at least have noticed that switch hitter. So. Yeah,
but just like that, Beras is back on the mound for Cologne. I mean, that was a really quick 1-2-3 inning here from Solbach.
And let's see if
Bonn
down
can generate
by 2
some
runs.
offense
Let's
here,
see if Bonn can get some movement on the bases. We'll be right back.
So, Nachschlag im 5. Inning.
Yeah, so I mean, it's pretty amazing. I mean, we look at it; it's 2:13 now. Game started at 1, and we're already here in the bottom of the 5th. And it's really just 3-1 ball game here as the Cardinals lead. But it's been such an efficient pitching duel really from both Beras and Solbach here. Like very few pitches. First pitch there hits Joe Rosenthal. So that's the last thing that Beras and the Cardinals would want right now.
Yeah, that's like the first error we've seen by.
Pretty much the first misstep.
Pitcher.
Yeah. And that's really one of the few guys in this Bonn lineup that you want to put on base for free, as he's got wheels for days. So I anticipate some sort of action here, especially with the catcher Eric Kunze up. Younger hitter from the Caps. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get some sort of maybe bunt here or hit and run action kind of early, or if they're going to let Joe try and swipe the bag early. We'll see. First pitch slider there from Beras, low in probably
pitch, yeah.
But also probably Otten's anticipating some sort of action from Bonn maybe early. So we'll see. Yeah, so there's a pickoff attempt. You can see there, Joe trying to get a read. Get another extra half a step or so as Beras, the lefty, brings his right leg up And, yeah, smartly comes back over to first base. Yeah, ball misses up, so 2-0 count here to Kuntz. So he should be looking for a pretty good pitch to hit
all
here.
this dancing at first, does that affect you as a pitcher?
Oh, 100%. I mean, especially as a lefty, because he's thinking, you know, that he knows this is a guy with speed. He knows that he took that hop, and then that kind of takes you out of your rhythm, you know. And he looks like a guy that he is trying to read a little bit, and that obviously is gonna take away a bit from your kind of sharpness then coming to home. So 3-0 count here to Kunze, and that's a strike there. But yeah, for sure, and that's always a thing, you know, when you have a pretty dominant pitcher on the mound, you as the offensive team, you want to do the best that you can to generate some traffic on the bases to try and get that pitcher out of the rhythm. And, you know, so that's all the more reason it was a good start for Bonn to get a guy on early as Beras comes over again. So 3-1 count, yeah, I mean, that's a smart pickoff. You never know if they're going to try some sort of hit and run, get Rosenthal in action somehow. And he does go. Ball's up, though. Ball's high. So there's the walk to Eric Kuntz. And so now we're really going to see if Bonn's going to do something here. Luis Martin coming up to the plate as Bam also goes out to talk to Beras. You know, I would really anticipate, probably a bunt for a hit or sac bunt from Martin to advance those runners up. As actually, while you know Bam and Arns and Beras are having a meeting, so is also Luis Martin, Flo Naring, the third base coach for Bonn, and acting manager Max Schmidt. So they're going to talk about their offensive plan too. But
that is the play. You would also
because me as well.
Talking about what is pretty obvious. You want to with no outs here. You want to advance the runners and
because as well, like you know, me as a hitter coming up to this situation, I love this situation because I really love to bunt. And this is essentially if you can get if you're confident in your bunting ability and you can get it to third base, that's pretty much a guaranteed hit, especially with a lefty on the mound. You know, third baseman is he's got to respect the ability, especially someone like Rosenthal, to steal third base, so he can't really charge. So you have a really big, and he does show bunt, and they throw back through. Oh, interesting. Okay, so he did show bunt. It was a pitch that was away, or he just didn't go for it, but it was called a strike. Arns then came up and threw behind Rosenthal at second base, but it didn't seem like the shortstop was really ready for that. And it skipped out.
Managed to get in front of it.
I think it honestly hit. I think it might have somehow hit Rosenthal's helmet. And it scored it to pretty much where the second baseman would play, so not far enough for Rosenthal to advance. Max Schmidt's also having a conversation with Kevin Musis, the home plate umpire right now. Maybe he wasn't. I think they're a bit confused whether or not the strike call was on the pitch, or whether Martin showed based on Kevin Music's perspective. So I'm not quite sure if they, rule that as a called strike or a bunt attempt.
All right, but we're back at the same situation.
Yeah, so still first and second, one strike. So whatever they're playing before, as the first baseman's already starting to crash. Martin swinging away, and it was a foul ball at a pitch, seemed like at his shoes. He fouls it back to the backstop. Weak little dribbler there. So now 0-2 count here on Martin, first and second. So he's really got to do the best that he can to, not strike out number one, but also not hit into a double play. So it's a really, really tough situation here now. And so let's see what Beras is going to throw him to try and mess up his rhythm. Throws a slider that misses up and away. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes back to that slider here, trying something more around the shins, maybe back foot, something like that, just to try and get that strikeout pitch. Because you as the pitcher now, you're seeing red, so you want to go for the kill shot here up in the count. So you want to get that strikeout to then make the double play a possibility for the next guy. Throws a really good pitch there. It looked like, I don't know, a changeup or something. Okay, so he threw a changeup there. Borderline pitch, maybe, from Kevin Music's perspective, either a bit up or a bit out. And Music didn't appreciate the reaction from Beras at the no strike call there. So took his mask off, came a few steps out, and had a couple words with Beras.
So that's a warning.
That's pretty much a warning, yeah. So 2-2 count here to Martin. And he swings through a very good slider. So that's a really good pitch there from Beras. I mean, he pretty much goes, after getting ahead 0-2, throws 3 off-speed pitches in a row. And that as a pitcher is what you want to do, right? So, you're ahead in the count. He failed the bunt attempt. And so that's pretty much, the perfect scenario for the pitcher to get out of that, to go for the punch out. And
so now we're back at the top of the order. You think the same we're going to try a sack?
Probably not. I mean, 1 out, you're probably not going to do a sack. And Bendreen's one of the better hitters on the team, so he's going to be probably swinging away. But be patient, looking for a good pitch to hit. Especially early in the count, he's really only looking for 1 pitch because he's a guy, like I said, he doesn't really strike out too much. Though he does have a strikeout today, but he really is comfortable also with an 0-2 spot. So he's going to be looking for something good to hit. Takes 2 fastballs there. He must have been looking off speed the whole time. So he takes two fastballs there, down 0-2 quick. So you'll see now he's going to kind of change his approach at the plate and get a bit wider with his stance and really just try and fight off pitches and go to the right side to make sure that he's not early on those off-speed pitches and really take the fastball to the right side. So there's the 0-2 pitch. Looked like an off-speed pitch, ground ball to first base. And they're able to get the runner at second base, but Beras wasn't able to get to first base in time as Bendreen runs pretty well up the line for a catcher. So it was a really tough play. It was a ball towards the first and second base hole. Utica, the first baseman, was able to range pretty well to his right to get that and get the lead out at second base. But it just took him away too far from the base, so he wasn't able to get back to first in time, and Beras wasn't able to beat Bendreen to the bag. So
it would have been a close play, I think, anyway. It wasn't very
That would have been really
ball.
tough. That would have been really tough. I wasn't seeing if Beras was pretty quick off the mound, but you as the pitcher, you got to do your best to get there as fast as possible to make sure that you can get that, at least the possibility for the double play there. Because now the situation is it's first and third, 2 outs, and you have a very dangerous hitter, probably the best Bonn hitter, in Eric Brank at the moment, who takes a fastball for strike 1. I wouldn't be surprised by some action here as well, especially if Brank gets into a 2-strike count. I wouldn't be surprised if Bendreen leaves early to try and get. Oh, there's a good hit by Brank. Yeah, line drive down the line. So that's going to score. That's going to score Rosenthal easy. Yeah. So on the 0-1 pitch, I couldn't tell if that was a fastball or maybe a changeup left up that Brank hammers down the left field line to bring home Rosenthal. And now Bonn's set up pretty good, even though they have 2 outs here. You got 2 good runners on the bases in Bendreen and Brank with, honestly, a guy who's very due because what a good hitter Terrell is at the plate and the experience that he has, and it's only a matter of time before he really gets going. And, of course, you never know what it's going to take, really, for him to get back into that scary, mode that he can be when everything's...
There it is.
Yeah, there it is. And just like that, first pitch swinging, Joyce hits a pretty good solid line drive to right field, pretty much between the center fielder and right fielder. The right fielder is able to field it on 1 hop in front of him, but that'll score Bendreen and advance Brank from first to third on that. So really good piece of hitting from Joyce, not trying to do too much there. Because oftentimes, too, and I know Terrell pretty well, and he's a guy that puts so much pressure on himself. And you just know that when the big situations come up, he's almost expecting, because he feels that other people expect him to hit the big home runs. And that's where you get really big, long swings, and it's really counterproductive. And that's a really good approach from Terrell there, to not try and do too much. See that ball that fastball over the outer half and just go with it. And that's really good.
That's what you always tell the hitters, right? You say
absolutely.
Base hit.
Yeah,
base
absolutely.
Hit,
absolutely.
Think base hit, don't think.
And don't try and be too big. Yeah, exactly. And don't try and do too much. Yeah. And so that was a really good approach from Joyce, noticing that, pretty much those fastballs from Beras had been on the outer part. And Bam's actually going to the bullpen here, so he's taken Beras out of the game. Very good start from Beras. Bonn was able to get to him a bit this inning. But, he really showed a good performance today. Yeah. And so it looks like Moritz Jödecke is going to come in from first base to the pitcher's mound. So another lefty from Cologne. Yeah, and so I think that's going to move Paul Stadler to first base, it seems. Yeah, and I think was he the DH? I think he was the DH. So that means that Cologne's also going to lose their DH, as Jödecke is going to be hitting for himself from the pitcher's role, and Stadler comes from DH to play first base.
Exactly, that's what. So probably another pitcher here that Bonn is familiar with.
Yeah, for sure. I think he's a guy that consistently comes as well to the Stützpunkt trainings here in Bonn. So a lot of the Bonn guys are going to know him. And I think I'm not sure if he's debuted for Team Germany yet at either the U18 or the U23 level in the past. But I've actually caught a couple bullpens from him in the past, for those Stützpunkt trainings, and he's got a pretty good fastball with some good carry, good 12-6 curveball, and a little changeup. But I think he's a guy that struggles sometimes with command. So especially coming into this situation, first and third, and you have another big bat from Bonn, Chris Byers, coming up. So we'll see. We'll see how Jödecke does, how he fares, and what his approach is going to be, what the nerves are going to be like for him. Because now we got a tie ball game, so he's coming into this pretty much a 0-0 game, but inheriting some runners from Beras. First pitch fastball there is a good pitch from him. I think Kevin Music just had it a bit up. So, I want to know to start.
Definitely the atmosphere is picked up. The Bonn fans out here on Mother's Day are really...
Yeah, for sure. There's a fastball in the dirt there from Jödecke.
Yeah,
an accidental swing there from Byers. Essentially a push bunt. And it goes in between first base and the pitcher's mound. And, so that retires him, as Jödecke is able to field that pretty well and flip it to Stadler at first base. So that ends the threat there from Bonn, but they do get 2 runs on a few hits, and they knock Beras out of the game. So, so now we got a new ball game here. So going into the 6th inning, it's 3-3.
Ich darf die Chance nutzen, nochmal unsere Unterstützer und Sponsoren zu erwähnen. Ohne euch könnten wir das hier alles nicht so durchführen. Deswegen ein riesen Dankeschön an die Jödecke GmbH, an die Telekom, an Madaus und Lauscher, an die Wolanski GmbH. Vielen Dank an Lichthaus Enzinger, an die Sparkasse Köln-Bonn, an die Wolanski Versandservice, an Robinson Welsitz, an die DHL Group, an die Hochschule, die E-Bridge Consulting. Vielen Dank an McDonald's, die Firma Tam, Steve GmbH, auch Felix Roth und die RS 50. Vielen Dank für euren Support. Hier kommt nochmal der dringende Aufruf, am liebsten ist gerade die Hölle los. Falls jemand unterstützen mag und kann, bitte geht zum Geld und Hilfe an. Und kommt alle schnell.
So, now we're back. Marcus Solbach still out there for Bonn, so let's see how he pitches. Yeah, pretty much in a new ball game here. As funny enough, the pitcher Moritz Jödecke steps up and first pitch swinging on a fastball, and base hit into the right field in front of Joe Rosenthal in right field. So that's a good start for Cologne.
So as you said before, going right after they see the first pitch fastball, they're swinging.
Yeah, exactly. And as well, they had a little team meeting here in front of the dugout where, Alex Bam said, it's not like the game's over or anything. They're just going to keep with their same game plan. And there's still, a lot of baseball left to play here. Yeah, sort of deke there from Utica at first base, pretending to go steal on the pitch, causes Kunze to come up ready to fire, but yeah, it's just a called strike in the end, so it's a 1-1 count. Ooh. Yeah. So it was a little kind of inside-out swing there from the Cologne hitter. Should have been a double play ball, kind of ate up Sanchez a little bit. He kind of misplayed it a little bit and wanted to make the quick turn to go to second base, but then sort of bobbled it a bit and then continued to bobble as he shifted to then change his focus from second base to first base, and both runners are safe there as he wasn't really able to get rid of the ball.
And now that's the fifth error.
That's
on the Capitals. So
yeah.
So usually the defense is really solid.
Usually, and especially that middle infield from Bonn is one of the better ones that really exists in in German baseball. And so now we got a mound visit where actually the entire infield came out with acting coach Max Schmitz to talk to Zolbach and talk to the infield about the situation coming up, because it's a similar situation that we just had from Bonn's offensive perspective, that no outs, first and second here, anticipating some sort of action, whether that be a bunt from Stadler or maybe even a hit and run. Bonn's just talking about defensively how they're gonna cope, and more than anything as well, the kind of pitching plan between Zolbach and Kunze here. And there is some action in the Bonn bullpen. I wasn't sure. I didn't quite see who's in there, but I think I saw the box score yesterday, and Nicholas Rimmel pitched incredible for Bonn, and then Tom Adler was the one to close it out. So that means that Sascha Koch, Marcel Giraud are both there for Bonn in relief. Yeah, inside move there, just a bluff from Zolbach, just to see if maybe Stadler's not paying attention and will show bunt or will show his hand, and just to kind of see if they can kind of catch someone from Cologne off guard there. He does show bunt, Stadler, and it's a breaking ball down that Stadler takes, so it's the ball there. But he did show his hand, so it looks like Cologne will be bunting. That brings Luis Martin in a little bit from third base. Stadler shows bunt again. It's a good bunt right to first base. Byers fields it. Ooh, interesting situation there. And Alex Bam, the Cologne coach, is not happy about it. So it was first and second there, bunt directly to Byers. Byers did a great job, fielded it barehand actually, makes the throw to Martin, who was at third base. And Martin actually looked for, even though it's a force out, Martin looked for the tag, but was in the area of third base. And so the umpire over there said that he did make contact with the base before the runner got there, before Utica got there, and that caused Bam to come out, and he's pretty upset about it right now, and understandably so. I mean, that was from our perspective here, the way that Martin reacted, I think he wasn't quite sure where the bag was, but was in the area of it, and he went for the swipe tag. I don't think he got Utica, but the third base umpire over there did think that Martin made contact with the bag.
Yeah, it was a close play, but he went for the tag. I think it was. Had he gone for the force out, it wouldn't have been as close.
Yeah. So Bonn definitely catches a break there. As Byers. I mean, at the end, Byers makes a great play, fields that bunt, which was hit pretty hard. Fields it cleanly with his bare hand, throws it over the third, makes a good strong throw, and they get the lead runner. So it's now one out, first and second.
So there's also some discussion up here. So some people say that he did make the tag.
Yeah,
so
okay.
I was looking at the foot. I don't think it was on the bag. So it must have been the tag.
Yeah. Yeah, and Zolbach continues. So yeah, it's almost becoming synonymous here with the first pitch strike there from Zolbach. Off-speed pitch there. I think the slider, the cutter there, low and in on Gentry. Ground ball, hit not that hard, pulled just foul, yep. Yeah, and honestly, at the end of the day, that was not a very good bunt from Paul Stadler. I mean, in that situation, you know that the first baseman is charging, and like I had kind of commented when Bonn was in that situation, essentially if you can bunt that ball to the left part of the field, towards third base, that's pretty much a free hit because that's a really tough play for the third baseman has to read it or the pitcher has to get over there. So Stadler really did a favor. And there's a weak little ground ball to Solbach, the pitcher, who throws it away, throws it into center field. So 1 run scores from Cologne, as also the hitter advances to second base. So that's going to be an error on Marcus Solbach. So should have been a double play ball there. Not a hard hit ground ball. I think honestly he had a bit too much time. Threw it wide of Eric Brink covering at second base, and the ball skips into center field. So 1 run scores, and now the Cardinals have runners at second and third with 1 out.
So again, that's the sixth error. So we're
yeah.
Solbach is pitching solid. They're making contact, but I think the weak part we've seen today is
the defense has not been that good from Bonn today, and now they're going to play the infield in pretty much. Brank looks like he's even with the base, but he's probably going to come up with the throw. First pitch swinging from is this Romero again up? Yeah. So first pitch swinging at a high fastball. So 0-1 count here. Good fastball strike there. I think Romero was thinking off speed. So 0-2 count here. I anticipate, some breaking balls in the dirt or high fastball. Definitely nothing that Romero can put a good swing on, as Zolbach's going to be looking for the strikeout right now. Really good slider there from Zolbach that Romero was just able to kind of punch halfway up the first base line foul. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Zolbach goes with the same pitch, or off of that he could go high fastball, something just to change the eye level a little bit, maybe change the velocity. So still 0-2. Yeah, and there it is. Really good fastball from Zolbach there, up and away. Romero really has no chance. Kind of a weak defensive swing on that. So now 2 outs, still second and third. But that takes a lot of pressure off Solbach, because now just any out eliminates that threat. There's no more threat of the sac fly or anything like that. But Chris Goebel up. So last time that Chris Goebel was in this, was up at the plate, he had a similar situation and ended up hitting an 0-2 fastball for a hit and got an RBI down the right field line. So the rare first pitch ball from Zolbach at a high fastball, but as well a free swinger Goebel, and that's something that Zolbach also knows quite well. Fastball strike there to even the count. Foul ball from Goebel. Off towards the second field. Weak swing on that. Couldn't tell if that was an off-speed pitch or a fastball that Zolbach was able to get a bit more in on the hands of Goebel to kind of cause that jam shot. So now 1-2 count. Probably something in the dirt here to go for that swing and strikeout to get Bonn out of it. No, goes with the high fastball. Also good pitch. Sort of a somewhat attempt. He broke his hands a little bit, Goebel, thinking about that pitch, but that's going to be.
Thought about it.
Yeah, I definitely thought about it. And what that's going to do is change the eye level, because now that's really going to set up nicely for a slider in the dirt or something from Zolbach. Or he could go back to the well, honestly, with a high fastball, just like he did with the last strikeout. Go up and away, climb the ladder a bit, and that's probably what what this timeout quickly just was from Kunze and Zolbach to get on the same page about what they want to go with here. Really good slider curveball there from Zolbach. Goebbels did a good job taking it. I think Kunze gave up a little too early on that pitch because it was maybe borderline, but probably a little low. So now we got a full count here. And I think Zolbach wouldn't mind a walk here, honestly, to Goebbels, a dangerous hitter.
So he went upstairs there, so just getting contact.
Yeah, fastball up in the way there that Goebbels had a pretty weak swing on and grounded it weakly to Alex Bam, the third base coach for Cologne. Yeah, this situation too, I wouldn't be surprised by now a full count slider or something off speed, something that Goebbels wouldn't be anticipating. Hard hit ball. Looked like, fastball or a cutter or something that Goebbels put a really good swing on, but Danny Lankhorst was shaded pretty well towards the right center gap, and it was pretty much hit at him. Just had to take a few steps, and that ends the threat. But Cologne does scratch one more run to regain the lead, actually, from some sloppy defense from Bonn.
Yeah, now we're back to Cologne leading 4-3 against the Capitals here on Millennium Day, the 1000th Bundesliga game for Bonn Capitals, and we'll be right back.
Baseball. Hier in der Rheinhall. Es ist in den Runden steht 4-3 sind jetzt aus Köln. Und der erste Schlagmann für die Capitals ist mit der Nummer 37. Danny Lankhorst.
So back here, bottom of the sixth inning, Danny Lankhorst leading off. Danny with pink arm sleeve and pink wristband, obviously in celebration of Mother's Day here. One of the rare occasions in which actually Mother's Day lines up in the U.S. and Germany on the same day.
Yeah.
So
it's not the same for Father's Day.
Yeah.
Which annoys my kids because I tell them that I'm American, so
I
celebrate
exactly.
the American one, and they always forget every year.
Yeah. So this is the easier one today.
This
so
one's easier to remember. Yeah.
Happy Mother's Day to all the moms we have out here today, and all those in Germany and also in the U.S. So also a shout out to my mom. So happy Mother's Day to her. As Danny Lankhorst lines one up the middle here to start it off for Bonn. Danny having a really good year for Bonn, a really good start. So that's a positive thing. He's really come a long way in cutting down on his aggressiveness at the plate and because the thing is he's such a weapon to have on the bases. He's so fast, so athletic. So it's great that he's kind of cut down on that kind of aggressiveness, overswinging, and being a bit more compact as a hitter, not trying to hit a home run every time. So just taking what he gives him. So interesting situation there. Danny Sanchez shows bunt and then pulls back, and I think the ball actually catches Vinny Arons in an awkward spot. I think, it must have been somehow that Sanchez throwing his bat out there kind of blinded Arons a little bit there, and he couldn't quite get a
That was like
hold
a
of
running
the ball.
bunt. He was already three steps up the first base line.
Yeah. Probably looking for a push bunt there with Utica on the mound as a lefty, man on first.
Then you got a bit of a gap.
Yeah. And as well, it's interesting, despite Sanchez showing that, the second baseman for Cologne is still playing pretty much in double play depth. So the bunt is definitely there. Fastball up and away from Utica. So Sanchez now in. Okay.
That was a strike, 1-1.
Oh, okay, so they must have said that there was some contact there from Sanchez. So it's 1-1 count here. On that bunt attempt, there was a bit of contact. Fastball low and in. So now we're at 2-1. So let's see if maybe, I don't know, there's a little action here. I wouldn't be surprised. 2-1 count, so should get a good pitch to hit. Wouldn't be surprised if there's something. Nope. No action. Would have been a good opportunity for a hit and run, but I'm sure they have the scouting report on Utica as well that he can get a bit wild. So now we're at a 3-1 count, and maybe they can, work a walk instead. So I'm sure Sanchez is looking for a pretty good pitch to hit here. And he does. So hard ground ball through between short and third in the hole. So back-to-back hits for Bonn to start off the bottom of the sixth here, as Danny Lankhorst and Danny Sanchez go back-to-back with a couple pretty hard-hit singles, and that'll bring up Joe Rosenthal. So again, we have the same situation as just before, pretty much last inning from both teams. So first and second, no outs, so really good opportunity for a bunt for a hit, especially with Joe Rosenthal up at the plate, guy with really good speed. So let's see if Bonn is going to go with that.
up the third base side.
Yeah, because that's what it should always be. I mean, really,
especially with the lefty.
Especially with the lefty, because that makes it really difficult. But as well, just based on the way that defenses are going to play it, the third baseman can't really crash, because that opens the possibility for a really easy stolen base from second to third, especially with a guy like Danny Lankhorst with good speed. So really, it's a bit of no man's land there, because really how you play that defensively is the pitcher has to kind of field the bunt. So if you're confident in your bunting skills, only if it's hit hard will the third baseman come up and make that throw to first. But then that makes it pretty much a sacrifice. But if you are confident in your skills as a bunter and you have some speed like Joe Rosenthal does, then it's pretty much a free hit as long as you don't bunt it too hard right to the third baseman or right at the pitcher. So let's see what they do here. He does show bunt, and Utica throws it away. So Utica does the job for Bonn. Wild pitch there. Arons has no chance, throws it up and away.
I think that's actually the first wild pitch of the game. I don't think we've had one go back.
I think that's true. Zolbach might have had one, but I think that's true. But so
unfortunately, come in at a critical moment. Good for Bonn, bad for Cologne. With runners on second and third, let's see if
so Cologne's playing infield in already.
Capitalize here.
Yeah, so Cologne's already playing infield in. Rosenthal's going to be pretty selective here, especially Utica has been a little all over the place. But he does throw a good pitch there. Rosenthal has a good swing on it, but he's just a bit late, so he fouls it off towards the second field here in Bonn. So counts even at 1-1. But yeah, really good situation here for the Caps to have a pretty big inning here with second and third, no outs. Fastball low from Utica.
That was a good take.
Yep, good take. That brings the count to 2-1 here for Rosenthal. Fastball just out.
That's a good take.
Yeah, it's a good approach here from Rosenthal. Really only looking for his pitch, especially in this situation, something that he can drive to try and get that sac fly or drive something in the gap. So now all the more reason you should be treating this pitch like a 2-0. He does get a good pitch to hit there, and I think he's honestly a little early on it. Has a kind of weak swing, fouls it back to the backstop.
So thinking fastball there.
Yeah, should be thinking fastball, yeah. Yeah, and I think he was, but it looked like he kind of just got a little too happy with the pitch that he saw, maybe pulled his head out a little bit. So now we got a full count here. Ooh, good take there, tough pitch. Borderline pitch, but maybe just up, just out. But in the end, yeah, good take from Joe Rosenthal to force the bases loaded here with no outs.
At least three good takes from him, I think.
Yeah, some good takes.
Other than the wild pitch, he had 3 borderline pitches that he took, and ends up with the walk.
A good approach from him. Because in the situation, you don't want to try and get too big, try and do too much, try and hit the big home run or anything like that. Just wait for your pitch, be patient, and just pass the torch along if the pitcher isn't going to give you anything good to hit. Kunze first pitch swinging. Fastball about belly button height. Fouls it off to the right-hand side. So Utica quickly up 0-1.
So Capitals here with a big chance to blow this game open.
Yeah.
Bases loaded, no outs.
Bases loaded, no outs, yeah. Down 4-3. Bottom of the order here, so Kunze's the 8-hitter for Bonn. So if they can somehow try and turn the order over, that'd be good. Oh, great hit from Kunze there. Line drive into center field. Here comes the runner. Sanchez also scores. So 2-run score on a big hit from Eric Kunze. That was a tough pitch to handle as well. Fastball a little elevated, and Kunze did a great job being able to get on top of that. It hit a pretty sharp line drive to center field that scores Langhorst from third, and also Sanchez, who read it pretty well and scores from second base. So that flips the score over, and Bonn is now leading 5-4 with that 2-run RBI single from Eric Kunze.
Just a really nice hit. Sanchez just took off at contact, so way before any throw from center field, and it's just back and forth battle here with Bonn taking the lead 5-4.
Yep.
But still no outs.
Yep, no outs. Luis Martin at the plate. Shows bunt. So he was going for that there. He was going for the bunt for the hit there.
Yeah, to the third base side.
Yeah.
It looked like it,
Yeah. But just misses that, so strike one on him. Shows bunt again. So that one was a bit more of a sack, but I think he didn't do a good enough job to really present it towards third base. Was still trying to think more of a hit. So really in that situation, you have sort of one shot to go for the sneak, go for a hit, and then after that, you really got to get it down because now we're in a situation, 0-2.
0-2, behind in the count.
And strikeout candidate here. Curveball misses out. Yeah, because really they say you got one shot to kind of go for the bunt for a hit. If you fail at that, then you really got to get it down. You really got to sacrifice yourself. So it was a ground ball to third base there, and Joe Rosenthal actually did a pretty good job of taking away the throwing lane from Gentry, who fielded it and wanted to go to second base, but with Rosenthal bearing down on him, he really got a little worried about hitting him, and so he threw the ball a bit more to the right field side of second base, and that took the covering second baseman off of the base, and it actually skipped away from him and squirted towards, pretty much where the second baseman normally plays, and that allowed Rosenthal actually to score from second base. So that's definitely going to be an error on the third baseman, and still no outs here as Maurice Bendrine comes up the leadoff hitter for Bonn. So we're back to first and second, and Maurice Bendrine up for Bonn. So that's yet another error in this game. So really sloppy game so far from both sides, actually. And Bendrine with a really good hit through the first and second base hole. First pitch swinging on a fastball, and that is going to score Eric Kunze from second base. So a pretty good throw from the right fielder there. Takes Ahrens a bit up the line, and it was really a bang-bang, and Ahrens tried to go for the sweep tag on Kunze coming around, and as he does that, the ball actually caroms away from him to the right-hand side.
Yeah, he might have even had him.
He might have had him. I think it would have been really tough, so Kevin Musis, the home plate umpire, was really looking to make sure to wait and see how that play developed, and as soon as he saw that the ball came out, then it was a pretty easy, safe call.
One of our colleagues here saying he missed the tag, but it was a really close play, closer than I thought it was going to be.
Pretty good throw there from the right fielder, yeah. But now we're set up here. Bendrine at second, Luis Martin at third, and Eric Brink up at the plate. So 2 runs will score on that. So Brink takes the first pitch ball from Utica. So still no outs here, second and third. It looks like the corners are in from Cologne and middle infield maybe halfway. Ooh, and Brink drives one to deep center. Piontek under it, makes the catch. Martin will tag and score easily, and Bendrine also with a heads-up play will tag from second base to go to third. So that's Brink's second sacrifice fly of the day. So another RBI for him as both runners advance on the pretty deep fly ball. I would say more like a deep, high line drive. Actually, he got pretty good wood on that. Piontek wasn't that close to the fence, but it was pretty deep. Yeah,
we talked about in the first inning. It does feel like the wind's coming in from left.
Yeah,
so
for sure. Yeah.
Even
and we just got actually a hidden ball trick. To get. Wow. Okay. I missed that myself.
I think everyone missed it.
Really well executed hidden ball trick, actually, by the Cologne Cardinals, and Gentry tags out Bendrine at third base. Wow.
Yeah, for the second out. So
yeah, gonna need a replay on that because that was really well done. Yeah.
I think we'll cut that. We'll cut that play.
Yeah.
Maybe for some highlights on Instagram.
Yeah. So Terrell Joyce up the plate. It's now an 8-4 ball game in favor of the Cardinals.
After making an error, the third baseman redeemed himself with a hidden ball trick.
Yeah. Joyce swinging at an off-speed pitch low. So yeah, now the situation is bases empty, and Terrell Joyce up the plate with 2 outs.
Yeah, an error? How is that scored?
No, it's just a put out.
It's just a put out.
Yeah. Fastball misses up from Utica, but I think he's just setting that up for probably a curveball or a changeup low here on Joyce. Joyce with a really good piece of hitting last time up to score a run for Bonn. Off-speed pitch low and away that Joyce takes. So evens up the count at 2-2.
So hidden ball trick, something you practice?
No, that's just that's pretty good baseball instinct, I think.
So and there has to be some communication between whoever it is, the third baseman.
So
what's pitcher,
important there? Yeah, what's important there is as the pitcher, you're not allowed to be on the dirt of the mound, because then that would be considered, I guess, a balk technically. And so Utica was aware, of course, that he didn't have the ball. Third baseman had it. So, I mean, he must have done a pretty good job selling to kind of be disappointed with himself, kind of pacing around the mound. And Gentry, of course, took advantage of, similarly, it's a good situation to go for something like that because, Bendrine had a big hit. The momentum is definitely in Bonn's favor.
Cleaning himself off.
Yeah, and as well, thinking about, kind of building on that momentum. Focus is kind of somewhere else, a bit hyped up because he also tagged from second base to get into scoring position. So a bit more thinking about continuing the rally and not quite paying attention enough to where the ball is.
Well executed play.
Yeah.
Of course, they say don't get off the base until the pitcher's on the.
But it's hard. Yeah.
On the rubber.
Yeah. So Terrell Joyce ended up walking, and Chris Byers on the second pitch, so on a 1-0 count, hits a high chopping ball, and here in Bonn it's a pretty warm day, and so the infield dirt has gotten a bit hard. So as soon as that ball took a hop off of the dirt here, kind of in front of where the shortstop was playing as he was ranging into the hole anyway, it pretty much skipped over his head, picked up some momentum and skipped over his head, so that's going to be a hit for Chris Byers. So now we're back to Danny Lankhorst. And I think, was he the first batter of this inning? I think he started. Yeah, we started back-to-back singles from Danny Lankhorst and Danny Sanchez. So Bonn's batted around the order here in the sixth to go from down 4-3 to up 8-4. So Danny Lankhorst backed up, 2 outs, man on first and second here for Bonn. And another chopper. Lankhorst with good wheels, but good play by the shortstop coming up, fields it pretty easy, and is able to get Lankhorst by a couple steps. But a big inning for Bonn as they score 5 runs here, and take the lead 8-4 over Cologne.
Yeah, great, big inning. Got the lead. See something you don't see too often in baseball, the hidden ball tricks.
Yeah, Yeah, we'll have to go and analyze that highlight there and see how they're able to do it.
Let's see what other shenanigans we're gonna see in the innings to come. We'll be right back.
Günstiger als ihr denkt.
Dedeke GmbH, Ihr Spezialist für sterile und hochwertige Primärverpackungen in Pharma und Biotech. Gummistopfen, Flaschen, Alu- und Kunststoffkappen. Exakt kombiniert nach Ihrem Bedarf. Einmal bestellen, alles aus einer Hand geliefert. Sicher, effizient, zuverlässig. Dedeke GmbH, Verpackungslösungen, die passen.
Und wenn wir mehr brauchen, als wir heute haben, habe ich gehört, können die nachbestellt werden. Wir gehen jetzt wieder in das nächste Offensivinning für die Cardinals. Die Gäste sind wieder am Schlag. Und los geht's mit dem Centerfielder, mit der Nummer 10, Niklas Piontek.
So Marcus Solbach back for Bonn, here to start the 7th inning against Niklas Piontek. So Solbach now with a pretty comfortable 4-run lead. And so the count now 1-1. First pitch ball, and then next pitch fastball for a strike there from Solbach. Easy fly ball there in between second and right field. Joe Rosenthal coming in, able to make the catch. Calls off Danny Sanchez. But yeah, that's so big from a pitcher's perspective after a big inning. Pretty long rest there for Marcus to then come back out, pump strikes, and really carry that momentum and have a quick inning here. That's really pivotal. So that's a big first out there from Solbach. Yeah.
So that means we're back at the top of the order for the Cardinals.
Yeah. Good first pitch slider there from Solbach to get ahead of Trujillo. Back-to-back sliders, and that second one is lofted into pretty much where Danny Lankos was playing. Depth-wise, he just ranges over more towards left center and makes a pretty comfortable catch. So those are 2 good quick outs for Marcus Solbach there. So that was, less than 5 pitches, maybe 5 pitches exactly, yeah. And that'll bring up Vinny Arons. So first pitch off speed, low and away to Vinny Arons. We were able to just get the pitch count here for Marcus Solbach from Tom here to our right, and so that was the 97th pitch for Marcus.
And 98.
And there's 98. Really high fly ball from Vinny Arons to center field. So that'll most likely do it for Marcus Solbach. We'll see if he's going to come back out with a 4-run lead, and especially Bonn's got Sasha Koch and Marcel Giraud still in the pen for them. So we'll see if that's going to be it for Marcus Solbach.
And no earned runs, we just learned. So
no earned runs, yeah. A lot of errors, yeah. A lot of errors from both sides, honestly. I'm wondering what the final stat line for Beras from the other side, from Marcelino Beras, is going to be for Cologne, because he also pitched quite well and had a fair amount of errors behind him. So it'll be interesting to see what that final stat line for him is going to be.
And we'll be right back.
Moment beim Baseball, nämlich im 7. Inning. Da gibt es einen 7th Inning Stretch, ja, wenn man so lange auf seinem Popo sitzt. Deswegen dürft ihr euch alle erheben und einmal stretchen.
Me out to the ball game, take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jacks. I don't care if I never get back again. Root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out of the old ball game. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
Super, vielen Dank. Ich finde, ihr habt einen richtig guten DJ an der Seite. 7 Inning Stretch, ich hoffe, ihr habt die Chance genutzt, euch mal lang zu machen. Für mich ist das voll die Ehre, heute hier dabei sein zu dürfen und ich kann behaupten, ich habe von den 1000 Bundesligaspielen tatsächlich die meisten gesehen. Früher mit auf Ausfahrten und Auswärtsfahrten gefahren und jetzt hat man natürlich über den Livestream auch die Möglichkeit, die Spiele von zu Hause zu
So, and we're back here in Bonn as Danny Sanchez steps up to the plate for the Caps here in the bottom of the 7th with 8-4 lead. Still Moritz Utica for the Cardinals pitching here. We did get the final stat line on the starter from the Cardinals, Marcelino Beras, who was attributed with 3 earned runs, which I didn't feel was very indicative of his performance because I thought he did really, really well actually against the Caps to really kind of limit their offensive output the first few innings, and he did get into the 5th. And then I guess a few, things kind of went against him, and Caps were able to generate some offense against him, and take advantage of some of the other errors made. So Danny Sanchez quickly down 0-2, and then Utica drops in a pretty good curveball there, backdoor against Sanchez, who wasn't really happy with the call as he goes back to the dugout. So quick strikeout there from Sanchez.
You have to update me. Yeah. Thanks.
Three pitch strikeout there. Fastball, then a foul ball, and a fastball, then a backdoor curveball. Pretty good from Utica.
Okay.
Yeah, but I was just saying I saw the stat line from the Cologne starter Marcelino Beras, and he was attributed with 3 earned runs, which I didn't really think was indicative of his performance today. Oh, and actually, so a bunt attempt from Joe Rosenthal. And Kevin Muges is going to call him out. I guess coming up the line, the ball made contact with Rosenthal's foot. So I'm not exactly sure what the call is. I think Joe as well is a bit confused about it, and Flo Naring is also coming down. Max Schmitz is quickly out of the Bonn dugout to also ask. So it was a bit awkward. It was one of those. So it was an attempted bunt, which was kind of hard to tell as it was bunted down and made contact with the ground. It was kind of hard to see where exactly the ball made contact to then kind of change direction and go pretty much directly to the pitcher, as Utica was the one who fielded it. But from Kevin Music's perspective, that ball made contact with Joe Rosenthal out of the box, and so that's why he was called out.
So if the ball makes contact with you in fair.
Yeah, outside of the box. Yeah, if you're outside of the box, yeah.
Okay.
So as Joe was running, that was Kevin Muse's perspective that that somehow made contact with Joe's foot and redirected it to the pitcher, and that's why he called him out immediately there. Yeah.
So Bonn really not able to lay down the bunts today.
Yeah, and that was also 2 quick outs then from Bonn. And that's going to be a pretty quick inning for Moritz Utica as Eric Kunze skies the second pitch of the at-bat to center field in a pretty easy catch for Nicholas Piontek in center field, and that's already the end of the bottom of the 7th there.
Yeah, very quick inning for Cologne, and score remains 8-4 for Bonn.
Yep.
Here on Millennium Day. We'll be right back.
There we go.
8-4 für die Capitals. So, und während die Cardinals ihren Pitcher schon ausgewechselt haben, ihren Starting Pitcher, haben wir unseren Starting Pitcher noch auf dem Mount und an diesem Platz den Markus Solberg, der einen super Job macht und den nächsten Platz macht.
So Marcus Solbach actually going back out there. That's his 99th pitch. And yeah, still, so 0 earned runs on his tab here. So all 4 runs that Cologne scored are unearned.
How does that work? Because he also made an error.
Yeah.
Does that affect it?
Yeah, so that's still unearned.
It's still unearned.
Yeah,
okay.
Even though he committed the error.
Rarely would the pitcher make an error.
Yeah.
So as a scoring, that would also be unearned.
Yeah. And Moritz Jurtica up so the pitcher for Cologne, down 1-2 here. Good slider there from Solbach. So now he's at 100 pitches. So I'm kind of surprised that he went back out there for the 8th, as there are a couple fresh arms in Bonn's dugout, and guys that need to throw as well. So the guys that didn't throw yesterday that need to get some innings in, and especially Sascha Koch and Marcel Giraud. Those are both national team guys that need to get their work in. So I'm kind of surprised to see Solbach out there again for the 8th.
I think in this situation, Solbach wanted to get back out there.
Yeah, and I did see him as he was coming off the mound to end last inning make a motion towards probably Max, Schmitz, and Clemens to give him the one more sign. But still, I'm kind of surprised that they let him do that. So there's a pretty soft chopper to third base. Routine play for Luis Martin, the third baseman there, to get Jurtica for the first out. But as well, I guess, this is your guy, right? So Solbach is their guy, and this is an important game for Bonn, both because of the big celebration, the big crowd, the great atmosphere here. They want to really lock down a win here with a guy that they want to back their horse. So I can also see it from that perspective.
And other than the pitch count, he's been pitching pretty solid these last few innings.
Yeah, so. and really Cologne was able to get their runs the first 1 to 2 times through the order. Now we're at the 3rd time through the order. So really since the 4th inning, I haven't really seen much offensive, output from Cologne, because they really did have some good swings the first time through the order. They were able to manufacture some runs there, second time through as well. But pretty much since the fourth or 5th or so, we really haven't seen much from Cologne. Not much hard contact either. Especially as Bonn took the lead, then they sort of. Yeah, I don't want to say rolled over a bit, but, they're really not having the same approach, and you kind of feel the energy's been sucked out of that dugout, too. So 2-1 count here.
1 out.
Yeah, ooh. generous strike there to even the count. Yeah. So generous strike there from Kevin Music, up and out. Great play by Danny Sanchez ranging. And are they going to get that? Wow. Great play on both ends. Great play on both ends. So really hard hit ball towards the second base hole that Danny Sanchez was able to make a hard running play to then lay out full extension and throw from the shallow outfield, actually. Make a good strong throw to first base, which was up the line a bit. And Byers also had to pretty much do a full stretch to remain in contact with the bag and catch that. And I think he kind of got caught up a little bit with the hitter, who was down on the ground with a bit of an injury there, and he's kind of hobbling a bit off here. Supported by a couple of his teammates and the coach Alex Bam.
Yeah, hopefully nothing serious there, but being helped up here by...
Yeah, looks like it must be some sort of twist, either knee or... Yeah, so now he's not even putting pressure on that right leg. So it looks like, it must have been either knee twist or ankle there. I mean, it was a bit of a
pain.
Yeah, it was a bit of a messy play there as the two sort of collided at first base. I mean, it was a full extension from Byers, sort of up the line. I mean, he ended up on his...
Behind the plate,
behind the base, and he ended up pretty much fully extended on his chest. So great play by him as well to maintain contact with the bag. But it was probably one of those that the base runner sort of had to do a bit of a tiptoe to try and avoid stepping directly on Byers, so it must have been somewhere there that he twisted his knee or ankle a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, they definitely collided.
Yeah. So now Paul Stadler up for Cologne. Fouls the first pitch back. Fastball from Zolbach, and then goes right to the slider there. Good pitch. So we do have 2 outs here in the eighth.
0-2 with 2 outs. And still no movement in the bullpen, so it could be.
Yeah. So the 0-2 pitch. So that's the second 0-2 hit Zolbach has given up. That was a bit of a hanging slider. So he had thrown a really good slider to Stadler the pitch before that he swung over and tried to replicate that, but just left it a bit up, and Stadler was able to put a pretty good swing on it into the left field, left center gap, which then Lankhorst was able to cut off and throw back in to limit him to a single. So now Jacob Gentry up the lefty hitter for Cologne, Stadler leading off first base. First pitch off speed from Zolbach. Gentry fouls straight back. So there is definitely some action in the Bonn bullpen. I can't tell who it is, but I did just see bench coach Maurice Wilhelm go in there. Really good play by Kunze there. So off-speed pitch in the dirt, actually behind the hitter, which Kunze was able to back pick and actually make a throw to first. A pretty close play at first base to try and pick off Stadler, who was I think a bit surprised that Kunze was actually able to stab that backhanded, but he was able to slide back in safely. Another off-speed pitch, pulled foul towards the Bonn dugout. Another off-speed pitch in the dirt, well blocked by Kunz. So 2-2 count here against Gentry.
Yeah, with 2 outs, so let's see.
Zolbach. With 2 outs. I also wouldn't be surprised if this is Zolbach's last hitter. I anticipate they have someone ready in the pen. So either Zolbach's going to get out of this, but Gentry hits one pretty well deep. That's going to be extra bases for sure into right center. So Stadler's going to score pretty easily. It's actually a miscommunication there between Stadler and the third base coach. But that's a double there from Gentry. And that most likely is going to knock Zolbach out as Schmitz is on the top step and looking to come bring Zolbach out. So he's definitely going to get a really nice hand here from the Bonn crowd as he pitched really well. That's actually going to be his first earned run. So despite giving up 5 runs total, only 1 of those is earned. So really, really dominant performance from Marcus Zolbach. He's probably going to be upset with himself about that last run there as he gave up an 0-2 hit and then a double off of that. So Max Schmitz does make the move. So Marcus Zolbach will be departing, and he'll get a nice hand from the crowd here for his performance today.
Yeah, leaves the game with with that last run, still ahead by 3, 8-5.
Yeah. So the runner on second base is his runner. 2 outs here, so he ends up going 7 2/3, 1-run ball, and it looks like it's Marcel Giroux who's going to come in for Bonn here, hard throwing lefty, national team pitcher. So yeah, and he's going to inherit that runner on second base, but has 2 outs here and is most likely going to be expected to get this last out and then probably come out for the top of the 9th as well.
Yeah, we're going to let him warm up, and we'll be right back. Yeah. All right. We're in the top of the 8th here, 2 outs, new pitcher.
Yeah. So an up for Cologne is Carrasquilla Romero. Man on second, 2 outs. So Giroux, hard thrown lefty out of the Bonn bullpen. First pitch a bit up and out. So Bonn showcasing their City Connect jerseys today. So the first time that they've done something like this. What are your impressions of those, Ole? How do you think? How do you think they
great?
Look? Yeah. Maybe a tough day to go all black pants,
say, yeah,
but they look good. Yeah.
Yeah, we will start this year wearing black for away games.
Yeah.
And let's see how that's gonna be in August.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Luckily, we play in gray pants, not the black
Yeah.
pants. But I think it's strange looking out there and not seeing green. So that's one.
And black at home is always weird as well.
Yeah.
But it looks pretty cool. I mean, they got the Bonn skyline as the hat there, the face of the hat, and pretty cool Bonn lettering there with some other elements celebrating Bonn's history and connection with Beethoven and Music City and that. But yeah, I mean, all in all, I think they came out pretty nice. So Giroux is here with a 3-1 count against Carrasquilla Romero.
And there is a theme.
Yeah.
So Bonn Bound, that's the theme of the City Connect. I guess shouldn't call it City Connect, it's our own. Maybe it's No, we shouldn't call it that. Bonn Bound. Bonn Bound. Yeah.
Bonn Bound.
That's our version.
Yeah.
We improved upon it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and the merchandise is available. You can buy it here at the field. You can look at the website if you're really interested.
fan
You
shop.
can email. There's an email on the website where you can get in touch with the team here and see if you can get something. But it's really, really nice stuff.
Yeah. So Romero actually ended up walking there. So Giraud starts with the walk. But it's not really, it doesn't affect too much because runner on second base anyway, and now at least you create a few more force outs defensively. So it doesn't really do much harm. And then he gets right ahead of Goebel, the left fielder for Cologne here, and longtime capital as well. Starts him off with a fastball, and then there's a fastball that misses from Giraud up and away to even up the count at 1-1. And that's something as well that I've noticed from Giraud in the past. Having seen him a fair bit, he can be a bit wild. So he has a bit of a three-quarter arm slot, and so that makes it more likely for him, if he's not totally in sync with his rhythm, to kind of miss up and away with those fastballs. And that's what it seemed like on that first hitter. Maybe just coming out of the pen, not quite sure whether Solbach was going to finish the inning or not. So kind of took him one batter to get back into the rhythm here, but he's looked sharper since on Goebel, who he's got at 1-2. And I think so far I've only seen fastballs from him. But maybe this is an opportunity for the free swinging Goebel to give him a slider or something in the dirt. No, it goes fastball again. Good pitch, though, up and in. Goebel smartly leaves it. Holds off on
Goebel is
that.
the time run, so...
Yep. And he does have a little power in his bat, too. Yep. That was another fastball low.
So full count, 2 outs. Man on first and second.
So that's going to give the runners an early shot here to get going with the 3-2 full count, 2 outs. Goebel pops it up just behind the dugout there, between home plate and the dugout in foul ground. So yeah, we could have a very interesting last inning here if Goebel is able to put one down the line or in one of the gaps, because first and second here, full count, 2 outs. These guys are going to be running with the pitch. So anything that's in the gap is easily going to score. Also Romero from first base. So ground ball to the right side, which Byers fields and takes it himself. So that'll eliminate the threat there from Cologne as we head towards the bottom of the 8th. So Giraud does a pretty good job getting out of that. And obviously a dominant pitching performance from Markus Solbach, who ends the day. So his stat line's finished 7 2/3, 5 runs, only 1 earned. Pitched pretty well despite some early good at bats from Cologne. Pretty much the first one and 2 times through the order, they did a pretty good job, but he pretty much quieted him after that and allowed Bonn to take the lead.
Yeah, that was a nice performance there by the relief pitcher, and that'll bring us into bottom of the 8th, and we'll be right back.
Tausendstes Bundesligaspiel. Wir sehen einiges geboten. Viele Runs, viele schöne Plays. Und die Capitals sind jetzt wieder am Schlag. Und los geht's mit unserem Third Baseman, mit der Nummer 3, Luis Martin.
So bottom of the 8th here, Luis Martin up to the plate. Fouls the first pitch from Utica off to the left-hand side in front of the Cologne dugout pretty weakly.
A nice looking bat he's got there. Very colorful.
Yeah, it's almost like, I don't know, tiger stripes or something.
Yeah. Psychedelic.
Yeah. Fastball there from Utica on the outside part of the plate for a strike. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Bonn is going to want to try and add a little bit to their lead here. I mean, three is pretty good going into it, but I think they would like to have a bit more cushion just to be a little safer. So kind of a weak flare line drive there, but you know, putting a decent spot that requires the shortstop Trujillo to kind of make a pretty high leap and grab, but that retires Martin for the first out. And that'll bring up Maurice Bendrine, so back to the top of the order here. So Bendrine last time up had a pretty big RBI single to the right-hand side, and then advanced on a double sacrifice fly, a double tag. But then when he got to third base, he was tagged out by a hidden ball trick, actually, by Jacob Gentry, the third baseman for Cologne. That sort of helped to end the threat from Bonn in their big inning.
Oh, has that ever happened to you, hidden ball trick?
I don't know that I've ever been in a game in which it happened successfully. I can't think of it, either as an opponent or someone on my team doing it. I mean, it's obvious. It's always one of the things you try. Yeah. Curveball there that Bendrine scoops on a 1-1 count and flies out to center field. Because it's always one of those things that you always kind of try as like almost like as a joke, but it never works. But like I said, that was a perfect scenario for that to happen because all the attention was away.
The dust, and he had to clean himself off.
Because there's a lot of things going on, obviously, like Bonn rallying to take the lead. You know, a double sac fly, so a double tag up, and you know they're kind of rallying. The energy's up, and your focus is just, you know, isn't on necessarily where the ball is. You're still kind of like looking at the dugout and pumping up, So that was a good opportunity for it, and executed well.
You gotta cheat. You gotta, you know, you'd have to fool.
Yeah.
There's a nice rip, but stays up just enough for the center fielder to get to it.
Yeah, good piece by Eric Brink there. He's had a pretty good day at the plate with a few sac flies and has hit the ball hard pretty much every time up. But he lines out to center field.
But always to somebody.
Yeah. And so, so that's going to bring us to the top of the 9th here. And, so Cologne needs 3 runs to extend this game. So I assume that it's, so Marcel Giroux is going back out there for Bonn, looking to get the last 3 outs here to finish this up for them.
And the save. All right, and we'll be right back.
Dedeke GmbH, Ihr Spezialist für sterile und hochwertige Primärverpackungen in Pharma und Biotech. Gummistopfen, Flaschen, Alu- und Kunststoffkappen. Exakt kombiniert nach Ihrem Bedarf. Einmal bestellen, alles aus einer Hand geliefert. Sicher, effizient, zuverlässig. Dedeke GmbH, Verpackungs-
Günstiger als ihr denkt.
Oder oben im VIP-Zelt viele Ansprechpartner da, die euch weiterhelfen können, wenn ihr Lust habt, unsere Bonn Cardinals Familie zu unterstützen. So, und wir gehen jetzt hier ins 9. Minuten und der erste Schlag von Cologne Cardinals.
All right, we're at the top of the 9th here already.
Yeah, so Nicolas Piontek in a leadoff here for Cologne against Marcel Giraud. So this is a save situation, of course. So if Marcel's able to retain the lead here for them and secure the win, then Marcus Solbach will get the win and Marcel Giraud will get the save. So he starts off Piontek with 2 balls here. So I anticipate, Cologne probably taking a strike here. All these at bats to hope for some easy walks off of Giraud, who is known to be a bit wild sometimes, as he starts off 3-0. Yeah, so that's a 4-pitch walk here to Piontek to start it off for Cologne. And then obviously not ideal, especially with the leadoff with the top of the order now up.
You don't want to walk the 9th.
But as well, it's not the the worst thing in the world, because one swing of the bat isn't going to tie the game. But of course, you don't want to give momentum back to a team that proved that they can have high energy and compete with you. So that's a good first pitch strike there from Giraud to kind of shut that down. Yeah. So now we're back, top of the order with Trujillo up for Cologne. Runner on first. Looked like a change-up there from Giraud.
So you think they'll be aggressive on the bases here to take away the double
No,
play
I don't
ball?
think so, because lefty on the mound, it's kind of tough. You don't necessarily know what he wants, and you don't want to kill that momentum that you just started with getting the 9-hitter up, and especially top of the order now. Your best hitters, because then you got Vinny Arons, who's on deck, who's home run threat. So you don't want to eliminate that possibility and kind of give outs. So it's kind of Cologne's job here to prevent outs, see if they can pass the baton on to the next guy continually, and of course Bonn is just chasing outs, so it's a game of getting outs. Good off-speed pitch there from Giraud. I think that's the first breaking ball we've seen from him, and that was a good slider to get Trujillo chasing.
And one of the few instances, I think, of Cologne swinging at a bad pitch.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
they've been very
they've
disciplined
been
at bat.
Up until 2 strikes, they've been very, very disciplined. But Solbach was able to get some pretty clutch strikeouts. But it's true, that was the first kind of I would say pretty wild swing I've seen from one of the Cologne guys today. So that brings up Vinny Arons, switch hitter, now batting right against the lefty Giraud. And you saw there, so this could be now an instance, since there is the 1 out. You saw that Piontek over at, I can't remember who that is at first base, did do a little pop while Giraud was in his stretch to see if, it is to see. There's a wild throw, so fastball that gets away from Kuntz behind the plate, skips up pretty much halfway up the third baseline. So that'll advance Piontek to second base from first. So that takes away the double play threat. And also puts Ottens in a bit more of an advantageous position, hoping to drive in a run here and try and cut down that lead. So 1-1 count here to Vinny Arons, who's much less of a home run threat, but a much more solid and complete hitter, I'd say, from the right side. So there's a steal from, no throw. There's a steal from Piontek from second to third. I mean, Giraud really didn't pay any attention to him at all. It's really a run that doesn't mean anything anyway, so it doesn't mean a ton. But that was a really easy stolen base. I mean, he had started running before Giraud even threw the ball, so Kunze had no chance to throw him out there. Yeah, good spoil there from Arons as he's in a 1-2 count. He swung through a fastball. Yeah, he swung through a fastball there on the pitch that Piontek stole from, and that was that little slider there, trying to go backdoor, and Arons just spoiled it. So of course, Arns is the one of the national team catchers, and Giroux was one of the national team pitchers. Arns is going to have a pretty good idea of his repertoire and what he's trying to do. High fastball there, good pitch, and good layoff from Arns. Evens up the count at 2-2. So like I said, Arns much more of a complete hitter. I think like a better bat-on-ball skills, less of a strikeout threat from the right side, but less power too. And he drives that into the right center gap, so that's going to score Piontek easy. That actually skips away from Langhorst, and I think I don't really know I'm not really sure what happened there. So Arns was going very slowly around. I almost thought that he was hurt, actually. I was going to say that. I thought that he was hurt. Was going very slowly around first base. And then the ball came in, I think, a bit quicker to second base, and that beat Arns pretty easily. So Arns did kind of turn up the velocity a bit, running maybe halfway through when he thought the play was going to be close, but the throw got there in time, and they were able to get Arns there. That was a strange play. I don't really know. I thought he was hurt.
Stand-up double or something.
The way that he rounded first base, I thought that he had maybe pulled a hamstring or something.
But then he
did turn on the jets a little bit, and so that's from the Cologne perspective, that's unfortunate because then that eliminates that should have been an easy double, and it takes that away, and now there's two outs. So one run does score, so Arns does get an RBI for that, but now there's 2 outs, no one on. And I think an 0-2 count here already.
Quick 0-2 here, yeah.
So 8-6 ball game right now. So Giroux looking to get the last strike here to shut down the Cardinals and get that important win for Bonn. Good pitch there. After back-to-back breaking balls, Giroux goes with the high fastball about at the letters, but good layoff from Moritz Utica. So 1-2 count now. Here's the pitch. Tough play in the hole for Brank. Makes a strong throw, and he got him. So that's going to do it. So a pretty decently hit ball into the shortstop hole, which Brank fields pretty much from the outfield grass and makes a strong throw across the diamond to get him. So that's going to secure the win for Bonn here. That's a win for Marcus Zolbach, who pitches 7 2/3, 1 earned run. 5 runs in total, but only 1 earned. Really a dominating performance from him. And then Marcel Giroux with the save.
Yeah, it was a back-and-forth game, and then there was the 1 inning when Bonn just opened it up, and
So that'll
Cologne having a few chances to come back.
Yeah, for sure, and they came out really strong, and I think they just weren't able to maintain the momentum. And especially once they made that pitching change, Bonn was able to kind of tee off a bit more on Moritz Utica. I mean, they scored 5 of their 8 runs in 1 inning. So that keeps Bonn undefeated. They're starting to kind of run away with the Northern Division here. I think Cologne was actually in second, but so that I think makes Bonn, what is it? Are they 10-0 now or 12-0? Yeah, one of the two, and but Cologne has, I think, now 6 losses. So that extends Bonn's lead pretty well at the top of the division.
10-0, yeah.
10-0, yeah. And I think that makes Cologne maybe 4-6 or 6-4, something like that, 5-5 in that range. So Bonn has a pretty strong lead there. So they're commanding the North, which is pretty pivotal this year actually too, because I learned recently that it's only the top 2 teams from each side are going to advance to the playoffs because of the sort of expedited and shortened season for the European Championship in September. So that's a good thing for Bonn to kind of take care of the second place team and extend their lead over them as they try and keep pace as well with Regensburg in the south as the only 2 undefeated teams left.
Yeah, your old team.
Both.
Both. Yeah. Yeah, but it was a very, very, it was a game was flying by in the beginning.
Yeah,
but
I mean the first,
got interesting and
when it was Zolbach against Beras, I mean the first I think 5 or 6 innings, as we noticed, was really only like an hour. like a little over an hour, and then there was the big inning from Bonn that knocked Beras also out of the game, and then the game slowed down a little bit. So the total play time takes us to 2 hours 45 minutes. But the first half plus of the game really flew by. But yeah, otherwise, it's been a pleasure, Ola.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah,
that was
really
good.
Cool. Yeah,
you guys. So Nick, when he was here playing, he was coaching the third and fourth teams, and I'm a member of the third and fourth team, I guess.
Yeah.
Or back then it was just the third team.
Back then,
And then we moved up and
cool.
Yeah. So now we're 2 teams and it's good.
It was good. Yeah, it was a good day. It was obviously pretty cool, and I was honored to be here myself to be asked by Mirko Hyde to come and celebrate the 1,000th game, and it was a pretty cool atmosphere for me as well to kind of see a Bonn Capitals game from here. A bit much less stressful than I remember my times here, so that's pretty good.
Yeah.
But so otherwise as well,
it's a different view from the visitors' dugout.
For sure. Yeah, as well. Yeah. Yeah, but so thank you to Ola, and thank you to the Caps TV team here for letting me kind of have this opportunity. So
thanks to the team, Tom, Lucas, Fabian, Max, and Leo for setting up, and they're the guys that are here early, setting up the cameras, the microphones, and everything, and we'll be here late, breaking everything down. Of course, after we all have a hamburger and some fries, but.
And a coach.
Yeah, so we hope you guys enjoyed the show today, enjoyed the game, enjoyed the commentary. It's really a pleasure having you here, Nick.
That was fun. Sure. Yeah, great to be here.
Bringing some real insider knowledge that we struggle with a bit, but it's good to have a former player up here.
Yeah, it's been my pleasure. And also, happy Mother's Day to those mothers here in Germany and in the U.S.
I have to say a shout out to my wife, who I've been telling for weeks that I'm coming to this game, and then today is like, you're going to a game on Mother's Day? And I'm like, I've been telling you for weeks, but thank you, Sarah, that she's home with the kids today, and hopefully
so let's get you home. So
get me home safe.
So signing off here, Nick Vicelli with Ole Tangen Jr. So
Ole Tangen Jr.
So there we go.
All right.
So I hope you guys enjoyed your Mother's Day here with us, and have a good
go
rest
enjoy
of
some time with the family. Have a good Sunday. Bye-bye.